but Swizzle sticks.
Countdown on the clock again. Feel like I'm playing in a game that I can never win. Time is running out, I know I gotta make a choice. So many whispers in my ear that I can't hear my voice. Tell me, will it end the situation that I'm in? Or am I bound to sit alone, drowning in my sin? Get right or get left, what will it be?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loot Bros podcast. I'm your host, Residentdarrell, and this week we have Joe.
Wow, I'm not Johnson jamming Joe today. What's the special occasion for that?
I actually hesitated.
It's okay.
I just kind of choked. I was like, we got 2, 3, Joe. So, what's up, Joe?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good to be on the show. This is like 2 or 3 in a row now, so I'm on a streak.
Oh, snap. You and Tbyrd both. We got Tbyrd.
Hey.
Hey. What's up, Tbyrd?
Hey.
The artist formerly known as Frosty Craps.
Oh, yep. He has gotten rid of his title. He shed it like a snake sheds its skin. And this week, we are joined by the notorious Groundd Gamer. We got Kory. What's up, Kory?
Not much. Just nice to be podcasting again. It's been a while. I mean, for those who don't know, I used to be on a podcast called Game Stuff with
Butt
Joe.
Stuff for games.
Yeah, with butt stuff, as we like to call it, with Mr. TMNT himself and Kalai. Basically, now this is just going to be the Lupo / Game Stuff podcast.
There you go.
But making my appearances. I have other things going, so we'll see how many I can make.
There you go. Well, just go ahead and spoiler alert. This is the first of at least 2. So we're going to do some fun stuff tonight. We're going to talk about some setting world records and some bull crap like that. And then in 2 weeks from this time, we are going to get back together because you and I, Kory, have been working on what I think is going to be an amazing podcast. But it has turned into quite the amount of research and work in the background. So we're going to do
an insane amount of work in the background. I mean, I'll be amazed if by the end of this, I'm not just like bleeding numbers from my eyes with the amount of work that's going in. For the people that don't know, it's like we decided to make spreadsheets because, let's do that because that sounds like a smart idea. And then we're like, oh, let's make it like pie chart spreadsheets because, let's just make whatever we're doing even more crazier. And it worked out pretty well in the beginning. And now it's just like an insane amount of stuff. It's going to be a hell of an episode for sure.
It really is. It's going to be a lot of fun. So with that being said, we're going to get this episode started. And we do that with a toast. Now, this week's toast is another very special toast. I'm going to pull out my ice cold. Now, last week I was rocking the LaCroix, and then I was LaCroix shamed.
Yep,
so this week I had to follow it up with a sparkling ice plus caffeine. So this week's toast goes out to Tbyrd on a streak because he is the proud owner of a brand new PS5.
Oh,
Congratulations, Tbyrd.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family, son.
I'm drinking my saliva, if anyone wants to know.
That's disgusting.
It's kind of gross that you have that much saliva to drink.
He's salivating over that PS5. Yeah, so Tbyrd, why don't you tell us a story how you acquired your PS5 since they seem to be so hard to get a hold of?
I just went online and bought one.
All right.
Great story, Tbyrd.
I knew he was going to friggin' Randy Orton no-sell that one.
I mean, that's really it.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought mine from a drugstore. That's the way I did it.
There you go.
The secret to success, you pick the one place that no one would expect to sell, that sells video, you get those stores, right? Like this was a Shoppers Drug Mart. So it's like the store that carries mostly a pharmacy / your Bed Bath products. But then lo and behold, they got to carry that little bit of grocery, that 2 aisles of grocery. And then they carry that like one little bit of games because, why not? They sell. And when it came time to the PS5 coming out, I'm like, okay, well, everyone's going to go for the big boys first. So I went after this like nobody won. And the surprising fact was they had the smartest idea to do it. They made you sign up for a newsletter, a PS5 email, and then you only got the link when the PS5 launched through that email. So people that were like on their website Googling PS5 couldn't get to it. You had to have that link. And the best part is they didn't make you pay for it either. All I had to do was use it. You had to give in your name and an email address, and that's how you confirmed to pick up your PS5. That's how I ended up pre-ordering 4 of them.
Dude, that's amazing.
I had 4 different emails.
You mean to tell me a small little shop had the best idea out of all these $1 million companies? They're like, how can we get bots from stop stealing these things from actual people?
Oh, exactly. It was hilarious because their site still crashed on launch. Like people were crashing the actual site trying to search for the PS5. It wasn't until you actually looked up the link. And like I say, the way they did it was just in email, and then you had an email and you had your name attached to it. So I attached 2. I had 4. I have a bazillion emails from doing so many things. I have like a email for myself. I have 2 Grounded Gamer emails because I screwed up the wording of it one time. And then I have an email for the Magic Shop that I owned. I have an email for Game Stuff. So I just used all those ones, and then put 2 under me, 2 under the wife, who paid for mine, by the way. I sold all the other 3 to the best friends that I knew. I did have one reserved for Mr. TMNT, but his words to me were, "Don't worry, I'll be able to get one come January."
His last word.
Don't hold it for. I said I will hold it for you until January. I
returned it to June. I had Jay right in the month, just not the month.
Johnson Jam in June. There you go.
But that's how I got mine. And then, like I said, the wife paid for mine, and then I sold the other. I could have sold the other 4 for stupid amounts of money, but I was a nice friend and sold them all at MSRP to everyone that I knew. So,
see, that is a good guy telling a good guy story, and I love it. See, happy endings do exist, ladies. You can find somebody to get you a PS5 and not scalp it. So.
Right.
Speaking of PS5s, Tanner, why don't you start it off with what you've been playing?
Nothing really. I got my PS5, set it up, and had a bunch of games download.
Yeah, that's what I did the first 2 days on mine.
Now, have you done the one thing that Joe refuses to do, and I don't understand how he hasn't done this? And I know everybody else I've owned that buys a PS5, this is the first thing they do. And Joe has yet to do this. Have you played Astrobot?
I played Astrobot.
Okay, Joe. You turned on Astrobot. You opened it up. You walked into the lobby area, and then you haven't played a single level yet.
Dude, it's so good, so freaking good.
The idea that you haven't understood I love Joe's reaction yesterday because I've played Ratchet and Clank so far. I've played Astrobot, and Joe goes, "Man, Mortal Kombat 11 on the PS5 loads so fast, and it works so well." And I'm sitting there going, "Man, Joe doesn't understand the power of the PS5. When you play Ratchet and Clank, what a difference of a game! And for those who haven't played it, you need to play this game. This shows the power of a PS5. Same with Astrobot. Like when you play that, or if you use the menus." And if you go through all the times, and if you want to shameless plug, go beat all Tricky Mix times, because he decides that he tries to want to beat you, and you go time trial and you beat every one of his times and make sure he's the only person that isn't beating you on every level. It's fantastic.
That's all you need.
No, I actually haven't even. I haven't started that yet. First game I did try was Bloodborne. That was it.
Dude, how does it run?
Way better.
That's awesome.
And it's weird. I'm playing on my PC monitor, and it's like upscaling it to 4K. So
supposedly, if you have the right monitor or your right setup, you can do 8K. I don't know about with Bloodborne, but just in general,
you can't game in 8K. That's only for video watching.
It says it on the box. Come on.
It also says 4K 60. I still don't believe it.
It's a version of 4K 60. So that's awesome. Dude, Astrobot, I gotta say, that is a must play game. So freaking good. So good.
I might have to wait till I finish Demon Souls.
Oh, have you started that yet?
No, not yet. I wanted to get
Ooh.
the setup right first so I can actually have proper headphones and everything with it.
Dude, it's gonna be exciting. I hadn't bought it yet. I'm waiting on it to go on sale so that I can not beat it.
I can hold your hand through it.
Oh, that's right. You can play that one online together.
Yep.
Yeah, you can literally just walk people through it.
No, it's not that easy. Demon Souls, even
I've had 2 friends walk 2 other friends through it in a day.
Well, I'm saying,
Demons-
okay, but if you get someone that, that's put a crazy amount of hours into it where they have all the items to do that, it's doable unless they change the way it worked, but that game wasn't as easy to just walk through. Demon Souls in general is just not an easy walk through game as like a lot of the other Souls games.
I played it on PS3 and I thought it was one of the easier ones, but it was also one of the most enjoyable ones.
Yeah, I think we're sorry, let me rephrase it this way. Demon Souls, I think, is really fun because of the way that it's not so like Bloodborne and a lot of the other Dark Souls. Like Demon Souls kind of just lets you be free. You just kind of walk and you don't know where you're going. You don't know if you're going the right way. You just end up at the boss randomly. And I think that's what makes it so good. And I will admit that Demon Souls, like my one buddy beat it, and it's more or less like you can just grind your way to beat that game. It's not like Dark Souls where you could just grind if you really needed to. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of grind Dark Souls too, but I feel like in Dark Souls it's not as forgiving when you grind.
yeah, I can't wait to play that game. I'm doing the same thing though, just wait until it goes on sale. Same thing with Returnal.
So I thought about picking it up just because I bought my son the digital PS5. So, but the idea of paying $70 for a game and not having it physical, I'm not there yet. I'm not on that level. So I've been waiting. I was like, I'll grab it on sale digitally, and then because then that way we can play it together.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Makes sense.
So even if we could, I didn't realize that you could play it online together. But like my thoughts were play it tangentially. Like I can die at all the bosses a lot of times, and then he can beat them and then show me how to do it.
Well, because
you don't want to do that. The more you die, it makes that game actually harder.
Yeah, and
Really?
Tbyrd, if I'm correct, isn't it it's the same way? It's not bells though, is it? I can't remember how you did it. It's crystals, isn't it? Or did they change it?
I'm not 100% sure because I think at the time I played it, there was really nobody trying to do co-op, so I didn't see any signs or anything.
They just changed it completely in the remake.
I'd have to play it.
I think I got rid of it.
The thing
Not
I want to
100%
play
sure,
is
though.
I want to play the remastered of Neo 1 and 2. But
Yeah. Is that $170 for both of them?
I think it's $70 for both. Yeah.
You didn't even play the
Ooh.
first version of them. Why would you want to play the?
What are you talking about? To play the first version? You're the one that wants to do co-op all the time on Neo. Except the way they designed co-op in Neo 1 is just just
the
not
person has to
good.
beat the level before they can join.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But-
really annoying.
Right.
Yeah, you can be carried through with other people. I've almost beat the game. I think in Neo 1, I'm like, I could
Dude, do you
probably
remember
go
when you
back
came-
and beat it, but
Do you remember when we played together and you came in and hit the boss once and killed it?
yep, because I had played so much of that. Like I've played
Yeah.
way too much of Neo 1, and
So,
that's where
So we're playing,
just-
right? And I get to the boss. I'm like, can't wait to fight this thing. And Corey's like, dead. Next boss. Move along. I don't got time for this.
yeah. But that game's I don't know. I love the Soulsy games. For me it's I can't I don't know. I just can't spend that much time. It's just too much effort and time and research and like having to like memorize patterns, and I'm just like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
I put way too much time in Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. I got both. I got the platinums for them, and I didn't do it the easy way.
No. See, that's where for me, like I've played every single game. Well, sorry, I haven't played Dark Souls 2 or 3, but I've played every other version of every one of those games. Like I've played Sekiro, and I've played them all halfway through. Like that's the worst part is I've done every one of them halfway through, and then I'm just like, yeah, okay, I understand the game. I don't feel like the grind's going to be my thing to get to that point, so I'm just going to leave it be.
Interesting. All right, Joe, what have you been playing?
Not much this week, actually. I think the only thing I really played a lot of this week, I played Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch, as Kory was saying.
PS5, you mean?
Yeah, I played the PS5 version. Yeah, I actually started playing PS5 games this week because I got tired of just waiting for a trophy war to happen, and Tricky's just too scared. So, oh, you can hit the shot fired button whenever you're ready, Kory.
Oh,
Yeah.
1 second. 1 second.
Tricky's too scared.
There we
There
go.
you go.
There you go. So yeah, so I've been playing Mortal Kombat 11, and like Kory was saying, it really low. It's insane playing fighting games on a next gen console when there's no load times. So there's like no time to like think about the next match because it's already starting, and you're like, oh, I'm dead because I was paying attention because I'm so used to like playing on a PS4 where I have time to like check my phone. I feel like that time in my life is gone, so like I'm gonna have a lot less phone usage because I don't have time to check like Facebook and other stuff while I'm playing games anymore because things load so fast. So there's none of that
Okay.
anymore. So it's
Well,
like,
The crazy thing is too is now that with PlayStation talking about doing the integrating Evo into the PS5, where you can have active live tournaments that you can join at any point in time, that gives you Evo spots and like actual tournament play that's not just built into the game. It's going to be insane to see all the different things that grow out of the interface. Because that's the thing, the PS5's interface, like I was showing Joe, where you just push the PlayStation button. And it's like, oh, hey, there's Kory. He's got a game open with a lobby of whatever game. I can just push a button and it just closes this game, reopens this game, joins the party, done. Like, takes 10 seconds to do whatever. And it's just, they've done really well in interfacing it. So it's very cool.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like it. I haven't played Mortal Kombat 5 on the PS5 yet because I beat it on PS4, but then I bought all the DLC and I haven't.
you play Mortal Kombat. Where's Mortal Kombat 5 on the PS5?
My bad. Mortal Kombat.
Man, I
11.
wish I had Mortal Kombat 5 on the PS5. You hooked me up
Mortal
with a copy of
Kombat
that.
5 is a good one too. Which one was 5?
There is
Five
no
was-
5.
Well,
There is
five's not
technically no. There's technically
technically
no 5.
5 is the one. It's for 64. It's the Deadly Alliance one or whatever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was it Deadly Alliance or was the one
yeah,
before that?
it's Deadly Alliance. Yeah, it would be Deadly Alliance. Like if you don't count Shaolin Monks, yeah, it's Deadly Alliance.
Because Mortal
Well, that
Kombat 4 is
does.
when they introduced weapons, and that was on 64.
It's got an awful fucking game.
Whoa.
Nah, dude, that game was dope.
No, it's not. It's dope if you like crappy Mortal Kombat characters because they were like, oh, we're rebooting the whole franchise. We're getting rid of all your favorites and you're going to play with Shinnok. Yeah.
No,
And
Deadly
Nitara-
Alliance.
and Nitara.
Yeah, no, Deadly
No,
Alliance
thank
was
you.
pretty bad. Deadly Alliance was pretty bad.
I like Deadly Alliance.
I like Deadly Alliance.
Deadly Alliance was like the first step in the right direction again. It's like
Well, I think it was.
I played
good.
that on
It
the
just-
I played that on the GameCube. I love that game.
I just think the
GameCube.
characters. I think character-wise, we have to. You know,
Yo, Baraichiro is my homie
How'd you know I was talking about him?
because he's the best. He sits and pukes
but-
on people. Acid
I said
Bile
it-
is awesome.
I said bad characters, and then you just really.
Oh,
literally-
Mocap. Mocap.
You went to defend him, so like I mean, either that means A, you agree with the majority that he is a bad character, and you have to.
No,
instantly
he's
try
a
to
great
defend him.
character. Don't be dissing on Mocap and Meat.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
Deadly Alliance. Wasn't it Deadly Alliance? Yeah, Deadly Alliance.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
it's Deadly Alliance.
I don't care what anybody says.
Deception was better.
was dope.
Like the one that came after it.
Ooh, yeah, that was a good one too.
That's the one
They're
where you
all
had
good.
the full. That's the one where you had the full story game where you could play as Baraichiro's. You played as like what was it, like Shin, whatever the heck his name was, and like you had to play the whole story mode. You walked around on like the grass and stuff, like coins and stuff. It was pretty cool.
That was
Good game.
that was a good one. I like that one.
That was a good game.
I liked it.
But let's get back to what I was playing instead of reminiscing about Mortal Kombat. We can do that in another episode. I mostly played Disgaea 6 all week, so I've been like dabbling in that. I got really engrossed in like going into item world, and for people who don't know what the item world is, it's like the rabbit hole in that game, and it's what eats up all your time. But the cool thing on this one is that like, so I'll explain the item world a little more in detail. So basically, you can go to this place called the item world, and you can level up your items, and you can rescue inhabitants that live inside the items, and then they give you even more stat boosts for that item. So like, you can take a base item and like level the crap out of it. But what happens is each item world has like a whole mess load of floors, and you can either do one of two things. You can kill every enemy on the floor, which gets you more bonuses and more level ups, or you can just escape the floor. Like you can just go find a portal and go to the next floor and keep going down. And every time you go down a floor, you get one level. You get one level up on your item. And so the cool thing in this version of this guy is you can do auto battle. So you can set it to auto battle, and the characters will just play the game for you. So if you just want to grind in item world, you can just set it to auto battle and just like go play PS5, and it'll just keep going through the item world for you. It's pretty dope.
One eternity later.
That's more like Hyrule Warriors. I've given a Hyrule Warriors update, but yeah, I think my characters are like level 250 now in Disgaea. So, but like I said, Kory, you were on last week's episode. They level like an astronomical pace compared to the old games. Like you beat one level, you get like 20 levels on some.
I know you were telling me about that. How they just basically they're like, here, let's increase the level system, but then let's just increase the amount of experience. So the level system is pretty much the exact same thing. Just
yeah, it just makes it arbitrarily makes it look like you're gaining more levels, but you're really not. You're just gaining. It's kind of like when PlayStation changed the level system. To be honest, it's like, oh man, you're level 300 and something instead of 30. Instead of 30. But well, it was only really a waste for like people like CJ and people who capped themselves out right away and had nothing to work for.
So what you're saying is
no,
it's like measuring your penis in millimeters instead of inches. You just go my penis is like 300 millimeters, guys.
It's an e-penis.
Like 2.5 inches.
Yeah. I mean, it's e-penis, right? We talked about this, Darrell, right? They're e-penises.
Yeah. Most important penis.
Exactly. It's the most important penis. So other than Disgaea, I started. Jesus Christ! I started.
Here's what's gonna happen, right?
I know.
We're gonna die. Okay?
I know.
All the good things we did in this world aren't gonna matter.
It's okay.
They're not gonna last.
It's
the things that are gonna be remembered is, hey, you remember when that dude said the most important penis was his e-penis?
It's okay because all titties matter. ATM, everyone.
There you go.
ATM. All titties matter.
Wow.
You need an Uncle Roger thing on your soundboard. Are you fucked up?
It's Uncle Roger.
I just need to get an Uncle Roger soundboard in general. I'm just gonna ask him to make one.
Oh my god! Oh,
how you gonna boil fried rice?
Hiya!
Why are you gonna drink rice and colander?
Yeah, you know, don't drink the colander.
Chili jam, Jamie Oliver. What are you doing?
Dude, he reminds me so much of the dude from Omegle.
Oh,
you ever watch the Omegle chat videos?
Yeah. You know what I find funny is, remember the good old days when like back in the day when the funny thing was to do was just go online and find like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like everybody remember what show was that called where they did like there's an entire comedy channel show or like comedy show that was based on them, like prank callers, and then all they did was found like different soundboards from like Arnold Schwarzenegger and like Sylvester Stallone. That's it.
About crank yankers?
Yeah. And they're just and then like I don't know whatever happened to that. Like everyone got into soundboards now, but everyone forgot about like I guess because copyright's a thing and all that stuff. But that was the most hilarious show ever. Was when they would just call and then they would just use all the soundboards. Man,
they brought it back a few years ago.
Yeah.
But what else have I played? I played Yakuza. I'm playing Yakuza Kiwami now. I'm trying to get through all of them.
Somebody. How are you doing? Sorry.
Was that you or the soundboard?
It was me.
Jesus. I'm like, who's over using the soundboard? Jeez. Darrell's a walking soundboard, if you haven't noticed. Anyway, so I've been playing Yakuza Kiwami, and yeah, that game's pretty intense, but I feel like it doesn't kick into gear as fast as Zero does as far as like opening up the game. You have to get a bunch of chapters in before you actually like get to the hub world where you can actually like, do anything in the game. It's pretty much just like the first 4 chapters are just like story. Well,
because Kiwami is the first game just remade, right? So it's
but it's very different than Zero. If like you started with Zero and you're like, oh man, it's really open world and like you can do whatever from the beginning. I was expecting kind of more of that feel with this one. because I haven't played Yakuza like the older ones in a while, so I kind of forgot like everything about them. That's a
Yeah,
problem with video games.
the older games are like very like that's what was weird when you go from like 0 to Yakuza like Kiwami and then Kiwami 2 is I found the same problem because I had started with 4, 5, and 6 and then played 0, and then when you play 0 it's like okay, this is an upgrade from 6, like it takes a lot of what made 6 good and then it just like makes a better version of it. And then you play Kiwami and Kiwami's like here's the base version of the original game. Like, we're not going to change anything except for the battle mechanics a little bit. And it is like very much a very different game.
It's a harder game too. They're harder. I would say they're harder games. Like the bosses take more hits to kill. Even if you're like playing it on like normal or easy, the bosses are still pretty difficult. Like I was like, damn, this is like testing my gaming mettle and my patience right now.
Your manhood.
Yeah,
I mean, that's also because you fall asleep all the time.
Yeah, dude. The other night I fell asleep. I felt bad. I was like, I'm not gonna fall asleep tonight.
I figured that.
I'm not gonna fall asleep. I was literally in chat when I fell asleep the other night. Like literally.
I know. When do you not fall asleep in chat? Let's be honest here. It's the three things Joe does while being in chat: goes and takes a shit, doesn't let anybody know, he just disappears, comes back, tells us how his shit was. 2, goes and gets snacks or drinks. Once again, doesn't tell us, and then randomly he'll connect to himself while he's in the kitchen scrounging around, and we just hear him like rustling. It's like, you know, when you hear like a rat scurrying through the kitchen in the middle of the night. So all it is this, there's no sound at all, and all of a sudden you hear and there's Joe like grabbing whatever it is. And then there are times where he just falls asleep, and then so you never know what it is, and you can't confirm it until you hear the snoring or you hear that little bit of like. And the best part is with Joe is that like for the longest time, how I used to get him to wake back up is back when Joe lived before he moved into his new place. He used to like, you know, game out in the living room, and his wife always used to, it would be hilarious when his wife was come out at 2:00 in the morning and just yell at him for being up so late. And so what I would do is when Joe would fall asleep, I'd be like, Joe, your wife's in the room. Joe, wake up. She's coming for you, Joe. And then he'd be like, I got to go to bed. But yeah, the fun stories of Joe falling asleep.
So with that being said, Kory, what have you been playing?
I mean, I've been playing a lot. For those who don't know, I think at this current point in time, I'm either tied or leading the Be Legit #BeLegit competition that's going out through the world, where it's beating games that are quote unquote supposed to be either legit games or over 8 hours in game time on how long to beat. Which
I like how you said quote unquote legit.
Well, it's got to a point where when I look a lot of games up now, the problem is speedrunning has killed 90% of games on how long to beat. So as soon as you look at an older game, the problem is that an older game that should be taking, like when me and Joe did Donkey Kong, I could tell you right now, maybe it's because we sucked, but it took us way more than 6.5 hours to beat that game. We must have spent 6.5 hours sometimes beating 1 or 2 levels. Because of how bad we sucked. But that was also because Joe would fall asleep. You know, back to the previous story.
Wow, Joe. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the great thing with the how long to beat though is that so the way it works is if a game hits 20 hours though, then you get yourself 2 points. The problem that I've been finding, and this is where I've had the biggest, as soon as speedrunners hit any game, it lowers that 20-hour mark of what a game should be, like Mass Effect 1. That should be around a 22-hour to 24-hour mark is what I would see as the how long to beat, down to 14 hours. And so the average then becomes 17 hours, which makes it only 1 point. So unlike most people, I actually play games to play games. So when I do that, I spend way too much time playing games sometimes. So with that, for example, I rebeat just because I'm a sadistic person. I decided instead of transferring my save over from Final Fantasy VII Remake into the PS5 integrated version and then rebeating the game, which would just be playing the last level, getting the trophy and calling it a day, I decided to not reload my save and play through the entire game again.
Yeah,
I'm going to do that too.
And it took me 32 hours. I did it in 4 days. No, I did it in a week. I did it in a week,
Oops,
but... I beat that again, which was great. And for those who haven't played Remake, if your excuse is that you're waiting for the game to quote unquote finish, go get a life, because this is a different game. And until you play the remake, you won't understand what makes it so different. Because if you're going to have that argument with me, then go, why don't you just wait for Halo to finish, Halo 22 before you decide to play Halo ever? Because, the series isn't done yet. The story's still there. Master Chief's still somehow alive. And, Cortana's lost again.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Yeah, the plot for Halo 22. Cortana's lost for the 15th time, and Master Chief's still alive somehow, except he got launched into...
still doesn't know how to make a game.
Yeah, woo. No, but it's the same idea as they've changed so much of this game, and then especially when you play on PS5, they did the intermission mode, which I've also beat. They changed a lot of the way the mechanics work in it, and it actually plays more like I thought it would with the remake over the way integrated plays, which is great. And for people that need to play that, it's a definite pickup. The other game that I really started putting a lot of time is I've really just been playing a bunch of random stuff. As maybe in 2 weeks we'll be talking about it, but PS Now has kind of been my friend. So I'm trying to beat games that are coming off PS Now, like Jump Force, which I hate, but I'm beating it anyway. I also dived into the PS5 version of Doom Eternal, which is amazing. Doom Eternal on PS5 is gorgeous. It runs super smooth. It's just the way that game looks with all the blood and guts and ray tracing is just phenomenal. Here I thought when I used to hear Kalai talk about ray tracing, back in the Game Stuff days, just think it was a fad and it can't be that great. I'm somewhat right, but it definitely, with certain games and the way that it works, if it's done properly, it makes games feel different, which is fantastic. And then the only other game I played, which for those before, Darrell, when does this episode come out?
Monday. So 3 days from now.
Okay, perfect. So people still have time to go onto the PlayStation sale that's on right now and buy Dreams. You need to buy Dreams. I don't. You need to buy. No. You got to listen. Dreams. I thought Dreams was the same way everybody else did. It's just Little Big Planet, except this time you don't even get a story mode. You just get the making of games. I thought the same thing. But right now it's $10. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick it up. The amount of stuff that is done in Dreams is insane. I played a full Sonic game a Sonic game that was better than the actual Sonic games that have come out in the last couple of years.
Hey, you watch your mouth.
Someone remade the original Mario in Dreams.
And didn't get sued? Wow, Nintendo's slacking.
Well, because it's in Dreams. It's in Dreams. It's made with the engine. So anything that's made with the engine, it's copyrighted under the engine. So that's the best part. And it's not called Mario. Fallout 4. Someone remade an entire open world Fallout and is making their own story and everything like that and redoing it. And they're using they're more taking a lot of the. So they're so far they don't have a whole lot, but people are making this and it plays like that. And the other thing is too is one of the cool things that Dreams has come out with is there's people that make mini motion pictures. I watched one the other day where it was about I think it was a wolf man and his son, and the hunters come in and they kill his son. And then he gets this boy that comes and meets up with them. And then he actually puts him under his wing and stuff like that. And there's lots of cool animations they have. There's music videos. People have made music videos for their favorite bands and put them through Dreams. It's just a real cool experience to see what people can create with something with the tools that they're given. And right now there's a event going on where you can play as a giant muscly penguin. Now, if the cool thing, the way this works is you play as this giant muscly penguin that is trapped in this world. And then what it does is as you finish each level, you go through a portal that then transfers you to someone else's level for that penguin. So it's a continuation of all these different levels that are all attached together. So it's really cool of what the community is building. And it really goes to show that you don't have to have a degree and a development background to make games and make levels and make things. Like some of the things they make, I'm like what was it? Someone remade the entire original Ratchet and Clank, I think, if I'm correct. And someone also remade it, made a God of War game that's all inside of Dreams. Like, it's insane the amount of effort and time that people are putting into these games. Like, there's full 20-hour experiences in Dreams that are made. Like, I saw a D&D one the other day. Like, it's people need to pick this up. But that was it. That's what I played.
I've been trying to tell people, man, but like I don't really know many people that picked up Dreams, and I think
It's
it's
$10.
dope, so
If you don't, I mean, if you have $15 to spend on Game Pass, save yourself $5 and buy Dreams.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty rad game, dude. Shots fired. There you go. There you go. As for me, I have played. I'm actually playing right now. A little bit of 007 Reloaded on the 360. I busted out my 360s, and I was like, you know what? I put one in my bedroom, one out here in my office, and I was like, I'm gonna play some of these 007 games that are not backwards compatible.
Which one
Playing
are you playing?
on the 360. Do what?
Which one?
The GoldenEye remake.
The GoldenEye Reloaded.
That's the only one I
It's
never
okay.
bought because I heard it was bad.
That's what I heard too, but it's okay. It's not GoldenEye, but
I think that's the big thing that, especially with now, like the problem nowadays with games in general is, which could be another topic, I guess, for you guys for another day, is nostalgia is one of the worst and best things of the industry right now. Where things like the new Dark Alliance game, it's okay. Is it as bad as it is? No, but it's because it has the name Dark Alliance, and it's the same thing. As soon as you slap a name onto something that's supposed to be like something else, you instantly get massive flack for it. So
I mean, it better be like that something else. That's pretty much what people think.
that's like Joe.
Yeah.
Joe wants his Joe. What's your experience with Mario Golf?
yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah. But so I decided. So I picked up. I said this on the show a few weeks ago. I picked up all of the old of the 007 games on 360 for $1 a piece at a yard sale.
Oh man, that's a good deal. I love all the old
Dude.
ones.
Dude, yeah. So I picked up all those. So I was like, man, I'll play through some of them, and I'm enjoying it. It's pretty good. I picked up a slew of controllers this past week. So I got like the Modern Warfare 3 Xbox 360 controller.
That's cool. That one's a nice
Do you know,
controller.
do you know if you trade those in at GameStop, they're worth like $20 a piece?
Really?
Yeah, controllers are worth a lot.
That's dope. Well, I'm not trading any of mine in, but it's pretty cool that I got them. I played a little bit of The Simpsons. I picked it up for $1 the other day.
Oh,
The Hit and Run?
I saw you playing.
Okay, so I got Hit and Run, but I'm playing the 360 The Simpsons game.
Oh, I love that game. I put
Dude.
countless hours in that game trying to find everything. There's hidden things everywhere in that game.
Just everywhere. Yeah. So I picked up. So it's crazy. I've been buying games like freaking crazy. So I picked both of those up for $1 each the other day. But so I got that. I picked up some really cool games. I've been posting some of my stuff in the Facebook group, and so it's some pretty neat stuff. I played, as far as PlayStation stuff goes, I did a little bit, some little spam. So I know that CJ had mentioned 2 weeks ago or last week that he played, and then actually that I played as well, the Super Destronaut 2 that just came out.
Super.
I don't know if you guys played Radalaika's Super Destronaut.
Oh, no.
Like a year or two ago. It's one of those short platinum games, but like it's a little one of those little space shooters. It's really, really good. Like way better than it has any right to be.
So it's way better than Catch My Bowling Ball?
Yes, way better. So this one is the sequel, Super Destronaut 2, and it is really, really freaking good. So I was given a code from Radalaika. And the game is awesome. It is super flashy, super fun. I've played it and platinumed it on PS4 or 5. I've played it and 100% it on Xbox One. So great game. It's only $4.99, but like, dude, oh my gosh, this is one of those short games that like, I mean, you could play it forever, and there's tons of modes and tons of levels and stuff. But as far as if you're just actually out trophy hunting, achievement hunting, it only takes about 20 minutes. But it's one of those games that like I keep playing. Like, and I was playing the different stacks of it just because I enjoyed it and I wanted to get my trophies and stuff. But man, it's one of those turn your brain off and just like shoot and get these crazy combos and power ups and stuff. And it's a great game. One of Radalaika's best, better offerings in my opinion. But I played that, and then I saw someone had posted. They're like, "Oh man, there's this new game on PlayStation for $1. You pop balloons and dragons and junk." So it's called like Balloon Dragon or something like that.
Is it made by the Bible people? Is it that?
No, the Breakthrough Gaming. No, this but similar in the fact that it's $1 and it's a relatively easy platinum.
Jeez, this whole
but
genre is getting out of hand now.
It is getting. It's just called Tower of Balloons. That's what it's called. And it took me 29 minutes to platinum it. But I was watching, like, before work the other morning, I was watching Hodge Twins videos and just laughing and freaking popping balloons. And you're this little dude and you're just, like, popping all these balloons that come up through the air. And then you got, like, gold balloons. You got, like, little dragons and junk. You just jump on their head and pop them. It's dumb, but it's awesome. So, and then I decided, so my trophy completion is going up. I'm at 43.29%.
Just keep adding those shit games to your list and don't play any real games.
I'm telling you,
you'll get to 50% by tomorrow, Daryl.
I've hit an influx where I've actually turned the tide. And so what I decided to do was like, you know what? Instead of starting new games until I'm done with my list, I'm just going to either play trash or clean up trophies. That's my goal.
You gotta start a trophy. You gotta start a trophy Tuesday, like I have.
Well, man, I got too many irons in the fire, but I'd love to. So essentially, what I've been doing is I was like, I'm gonna play a game. I'm gonna pick a game, and then I'm gonna clean up trophies on it. So I picked up Killing Floor 2 the other morning, and I had a little bit of time before work. Played some Killing Floor 2, picked up some collectibles, got some trophies, had a good time. I was like, man, that was awesome. Been playing Lego Movie on my Vita. When I take my lunch breaks, that's what I've been playing. And I've been cleaning up the trophies on it. I think I might platinum now.
You gearing up for Lego Movie 2 to come in the mail?
I've already got it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
did you?
And then the
wait, real quick. Did you want to buy anything off the GameFly sale?
No. I was out whenever you'd message me that.
Tanner, you should check that out because there's a lot of PS5 games on there for cheap.
I got digital.
Oh, telling me to.
Yep. So, but I've been buying games like crazy. I need to stop. But the biggest thing.
Now's the time to do it, though, Daryl. Now's the time. Everything's because everybody's clearing out all their PS4 inventory.
Yep, it's the best time because then what's going to happen is they're going to clear it out, and then in 2 or 3 years, all the games are going to get really expensive again. Because it's gonna be like, oh, well, now they're not in circulation anymore. You got
That's what happens every time. Like I love how right now everyone's freaking out because they're like, oh man, retro games. You got to buy them now because they're having this, and it's like every once in a while we have an influx of games that are worth whatever, and then all it is just an influx because something's missing. It's like I have Def Jam Fight for New York, which is like blows my mind how much that game's worth. For a PS2, it's stupid. I understand why, but it blows my mind that Fight for New York's worth the $300 almost $200 complete right now.
Yeah.
And
so I'm
insane.
looking at eBay right now. Godzilla for PS4, from 2015, Lord, pre-owned, $225, $140, $178, $212, $209, $258, $209, $469 sealed.
69.
Right now, they got one. There's an auction for it's at $150 with 25 bids. Somebody wants $400 for it. It's insane. I've got that game. That game's not even good.
You know what it is, Daryl? It comes to the point of like what Pokemon cards are, or even like it's just sealed product. Everybody wants sealed anything. If it's sealed and it still has the wrapper on it, it doesn't matter what it is. If you get it graded, like you could probably go into Walmart right now, pick up those like back in the PS3 era when we had all those shitty secondary license games, or especially the PS2, where you could probably find a whole bunch of those shitty ones still sealed. And you get that graded at 9 point whatever, it don't matter. It will be worth more than what you probably paid for it. The crazy thing is these grading guys are making stupid amounts of money. It's retarded
because they charge you the crazy amounts. So what I've been doing is I've been buying games, and then like I've been buying them on clearance and crap like that, and then leaving them in the wrapper and playing them, and I got a whole shelf of sealed in the box games.
Well, here's the thing that people don't know is that when it comes to ROMs, if you decide to play a ROM, it is not illegal to play a ROM if you legally own the same game physically. You can play the ROM, and it is not illegal. It is only illegal if you play the ROM and you don't own the game.
Boom.
So,
So buy the games.
Buy the
don't
game
open
sealed.
them,
Don't open them. And
download
just
it illegally.
legally. You download it legally.
Then erase the ROMs when you sell your products for thousands of dollars later.
Exactly. There you go. Just like that. So yeah, so the big game I really want to talk about though, that like has to be mentioned, is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Holy freaking crap.
You talking about PS5?
Tanner. Yes. Oh my gosh, you got to play it on PS5. You got that haptic feedback and those triggers.
I know, but it's so
Every gun
expensive.
feels different.
It's so
It is. Dude.
I'm not buying
every
that game again.
every time I look at it, the problem is there's no way to buy it and like for PS5 unless you buy the cross-gen version, and they never let that go on sale. It's like, here's the PS4 version with whatever, but you want that PS5, but you got to buy the cross-gen. And then all I think about is that's going to take up almost a half of my console as soon as I install that stupid thing.
213 gigs right now, and that was pre-update that like won't install.
Jesus.
213 gigs of trash.
Yep.
Yes,
So,
it
but
is.
it's so freaking good, man. It is so good. So I played it this past weekend and I beat it, and oh my gosh, deep dive incoming. The game has branching paths. Okay,
I heard it's a great story.
Oh, it's so good.
It really is.
It's got multiple endings.
Better than Ghost?
It looks.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
It really is.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's better than Ghost.
Okay, so the thing that makes Ghost unique and stand out is because it's about family. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Oh God,
almost-
are you gonna
almost
make
blow
it?
my
Did you not
microphone.
make a meme for that yet? Why Ghost
No,
is the
not
best
yet.
Call of Duty, and then Vin Diesel pops out because it's
'Cause it's about
family.
family. That's why I said that. I set that one up. But yeah, no, that one's got a story about two brothers. You know what I'm saying, and their dad, and it's just like it's a good story. If Ghost was made in 2021, then it would be the clear cut winner. But Cold War has a great story, and that last chapter, guys, I want to talk to somebody about it because it's so. You have the opportunity to like save people throughout the game, and you make basically good karma, bad karma decisions, but you don't know that. Okay, so I'm kind of spoiling it because yeah, it tells you like you chose this particular path, you know, but you don't know what kind of outcome that could have, if any at all. When at the end of the game, it kind of like, oh dang, this could possibly change things. So you play through the whole story. I kind of had picked up on who I am and where I line up in the story. And then the final chapter happens, and it's like a mind banger, dude. It is so good. I'm like, it's so much better. It has any right to be. Tanner, as you were going through that final sequence,
Which one did you pick?
so the CIA mind control kind of thing, the brainwashing. Okay, did you push against the grain, or did you do what they told you?
Oh no, yeah, that particularly, I kept going exact opposite of what they said.
I did. Me too, man. Like everything they said, I did the opposite, and I swear it felt like I was breaking the game. And did you keep doing that, or did you finally get tired of it?
No, I kept going. Did you get to the cave?
Yeah. I got past that.
Yeah, that part was weird.
Yeah, it was awesome. I got to a point where they finally put a hard stop on it.
Yeah, they
Like-
yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool. But the whole game, and then at the end, you have this really awesome, like, do I want to be good or do I want to be bad? And I went all in on the bad ending, and it was awesome. Like, so cool. I wasn't expecting this out of Call of Duty. Like, I expected Call of Duty to be a good 6-hour, fun action, popcorn, Marvel film. And it was that and so much more. And dude, I'm telling you, you guys got to play. If you can get your hands on it, wait for it to go on sale, whatever. I mean, this coming Black Friday, the new one will be coming out and whatever. You'll get it. Dude, it is so good. I hate that I waited as long as I did, but I'm glad I did. So I get points on the backlog beatdown. But so freaking good. I'm going to go back through and I won't delete it off my hard drive right now just because I want to go back through and clean up some trophies and like explore the good ending. I want to, but apparently I was reading up on it. There's 4 possible endings.
I don't
Tanner,
see.
did
I
you
don't
do?
see how. But okay.
I'm assuming it has something to
Darrell,
do
you-
with the path of who you save.
oh man, you're making me want to waste
Dude.
money and buy this game, especially with everything going on in my life.
It's not a waste of money, but if you're not gonna, another good thing too is the zombie mode, right? So I played the zombie mode. That was the first thing I downloaded, and it's like open world battle royale zombies, and so like
Okay.
it does. So you don't
It's not
start
so
off in
much
like
battle royale though.
but like it's the battle royale map. Like it's open. There's like a clear wall in the distance, like way in the distance of like a purple gas, and you have to run through the world and find attachments. You have to find guns. I mean, there's objectives and stuff too, but I just like there's no like here you're in this world, this one section, like kill zombies and then defend it until you get to the next section. Like it's completely open.
So it's
And
more like a DayZ kind of thing than it is the like DayZ mod than it is.
maybe.
Not
Zombie.
really. It's still traditional zombies. It's got a bigger map you can explore,
Oh, okay.
which is from the gameplay I've seen, it's way cooler than just having the one standard small map with a bunch of little spots you can get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it looks like they took the battle royale map and then put zombies in it because you can go anywhere. You can all the buildings are full of new things, and there's like little objective things hidden here and there, and little collectible-ish things or like these little portal things that throw rifts in the world and does crazy stuff, and it's wild. It's really wild. Now I only played it for like 30, 40 minutes or something like that, but what little bit I played of it, it was pretty dope. I don't know if there's like because I heard they've done updates to it, so I don't know if there's like a traditional, like story because in the past few zombies
there's a weird story to it.
Oh yeah, see, I haven't got into all that yet. I just basically ran around and killed zombies until I had to leave the house. So, like, man, don't make me leave, babe. Don't make me leave. But it's good. So I highly recommend it. If you have not played Call of Duty Cold War, play it. It is totally worth it. It's dope, man. It's really good. But it is half your hard drive. So
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to like not play anything Call of Duty till next month. So.
Well, I dig that. So, all right. With that being said, this is the Loot Bros podcast. I did not do our housekeeping earlier, so I'll do it now. We have a new YouTube channel. Okay, we have merged our YouTube with Push to Plat. So there are much more subscribers on there, much more content on there, and then from this point on, we will be uploading every show to the YouTube. So all that information will be in the show notes. Check out the YouTube, check out our socials, all that stuff. Everything will be in the show notes. Check out Ninjaloot, check out Sounds Heavy. CJ just launched a brand new monthly Xbox show. He has the number 2, 3, and 4, or the number 1, 2, and 3. I don't even remember.
1, 2, and 3.
The number 1, 2, and 3 Australian Xbox Achievement Hunters on the show, and it's called Avocation to Climb. So yeah, definitely check it out. CJ's a good guy. Anything he puts out is freaking gold, whether it's Xbox, Nintendo, whatever. He's a true Sony pony at heart, no matter what he says.
I had a good conversation. He fights hard. He fights hard.
He's a salmon. He got to swim upstream.
He's like a furry. You never when he puts it on, you would never know it's him. You'd never know it's him because you can't see past the furry face, right? So it's just when he puts the Sony pony, he probably just like puts on the like Sony pony uniform, and then he just like hides in a corner, and then he just comes out and he's like, oh yeah, no, I was just playing Xbox. I was playing Xbox, guys. Game Pass, right.
Yeah, Game Pass. Got to get my Game Pass on. So yeah, so that is our housekeeping. With that being said, we're going to head over to our leaderboards. And I was thinking about this earlier while you were talking, Kory. You're not on our leaderboard, are you?
For what? What leaderboard?
The True Trophy Loot Bros podcast leaderboard.
No, because when it comes down to it, I'm not one, sadly, to like go after trophies as much as people think. It just happens. It's more or less just I play too many games, and that's the way I get my trophies. Is I just like I can't remember what my completion rate is. I think my completion rate's at like 2%.
That's a good completion rate.
Yeah, it's
more than 0.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I guess I could join.
You should do it. You should definitely do it. You should go to truetrophies.com, create yourself a little profile, find the Loot Bros Podcast custom leaderboard, and then each week we read out the top 3, sometimes 5 spots. In first place, it is Mr. CJ, Affectatious Daunt, with 203 trophies.
What a
I don't care what he says. He didn't play no 10-minute brick breakers. He's actually out there getting those trophies. Second place, Residentdarrell with 75 trophies. That's way more than I thought I got. And then you got third place, Tricky Mick, freaking 70 trophies, playing some Rock Band 4. What is this?
Whoa, it's not Division? Are you sure Division doesn't have a Rock Band patch?
Well, no, it's got to be Division. It's got to be a new DLC pack with Division. Yeah. Oh wait, is there a PS5 version of Division yet? Is he playing that?
I think it's the Filipino stack of Division. That's what it is.
Oh, is there a different version of the game that he downloaded? Yeah, did they make a new version of the game?
I'm sure they will. You know him. He's got his trophies. He got to sync them up. He hadn't synced them up yet. So. All right, we'll go
ahead. That's like him saying that
auto sync his trophies.
No, that's like him saying that his saves auto sync his saves, and you can't stop that. And no, that's as you all are. Everybody that owns a PS5 knows that that's not how that works. You have to make an effort at transferring over your save for 90% of the games. So,
and just like he beat all those hard Nintendo games for Be Legit.
Yeah, okay.
He beat all those on his own.
Mm-hmm.
He did not cheat. He did not download someone else's save.
Oh no, he didn't. Did he?
Yeah, he did. Come on, man.
I'm being facetious, Bill.
Come on. You made me Joe Biden over here. Come on, man. Corn pop.
All
right. So, in fourth place, we got Mr. TMNT with 64 trophies. There you go. And I wanted to read out the top 5 because in 5th place, we have Mr. MZ Nitro with 39 trophies, but he got his last trophy in Poker Pretty Girls Battle, Fantasy World Edition.
Oh man, that's what I wanted to buy the other day.
So he's been playing those CJ's favorite,
the CJ special.
This old CJ specials. His old sleazy anime poker. Old ATM mahjong
games,
stuff like that. There you go. So here we go. TrueAchievements.com. First place. We got Cool Kid Joe with 12,680 achievement points. Good go. Hey, you know what? This isn't right. Wait a second. I know better. They didn't update this because my score is not correct. I know better. I'm gonna let them have it. But
collusion.
I want you guys to know I'm with that. It's Russian collusion on this board over here. I know for a fact I got more than this. So, but anyways, Cool Kid Joe, 12,650 points. Mr. Sony Pony 2U with 2,425 achievement points. Third place, GDI Matt. Yeah, that's right. GDI Master Ace, third place with 805. Then in sixth place, I got a 150. That's not true. That is 1,150. Because for whatever reason, it hasn't synced up my.
Sure.
All right, Tricky. All right, Tricky.
Y'all know.
Forgot to sync it up. Yeah.
I forgot to sync my trophies. I was playing a division at work.
Oh no! Do you want to talk about not syncing your trophies? I've lost majority of my PS3 trophies to my PS3 dying, and my PS4 trophies and saves twice. So if anyone wants to talk about not being able to sync your shit, I wasn't able to sync my stuff because of the glitch on the PS4. My PS5 or PS3, I hadn't synced it in like 2 weeks, and I lost everything. That was before like that was when they maxed out your like, I think it was you got 100 megabytes for your save files on your PS Plus like little profile. Yeah, so I looked it up, Daryl. I'm actually not doing as bad as I thought for my trophy
Okay.
numbers. I've got a 21.31 completion rate, which is not
That's
bad.
good.
I've played 995 games. I've only completed 19 of them though. So
That's awesome.
so
Would you look at that? Somebody updated true achievements, and third place is Residentdarrell with 1,205 achievement points.
Oh boy.
Hey, speaking of Russian collusion, my last achievement was Welcome to Russia in GoldenEye 007. You can't make this stuff up, man.
Oh man, that's how you got your points. I see.
That's
Trump's
collusion.
not the only one that does it. Daryl's sitting
There
there
you go.
going and getting the Russian votes.
Actually, what I was doing was I was selling my artwork, like Hunter Biden. I was just selling it, just making some achievement points.
There
I'm
you
not
go.
colluding with Russia. I'm just over here. All right, community
For
questions.
that Parmesan cheese.
That's right. I got to get that cheddar. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
We had a good amount of community questions this week. So
geez.
here we go. I'm styling on you, bro. Writes in and says, "How many controllers have you broken so far while gaming?" We'll start with Kory.
2. I know that sounds like a terrible number. It's more or less like they just wear out over time. I haven't technically broken any of them. The only one I actually broke was my PS5 controller. And that's like a true break. And then the only other one would have been one of my PS4 controllers where I just dropped it, and then the analog stick got all screwy, and I put it back in, and then I had drift forever. So then I just got another one. But that's it. The adaptive trigger actually is what broke on my PS5 controller. So I was just when you're playing PS5 games so much, it's just that's what happens. I guess I heard that they fixed it with the next gen. But just for those people who want to know, if you did get a first version PS5 controller or the one that came with your system, every single one of them have the same serial code. So if you buy another controller within a certain amount of time, I'm not saying to do it, but if you say go to Amazon and you buy a new controller and the new one comes in and somehow your old controller by accident goes into the box of your new controller and then gets sent back to Amazon saying it doesn't work, and then you end up having a brand new controller without having to pay a warranty fee of $15 to send it to PlayStation, I mean, all the power to you. But just so you know, they're all the same serial code. All of them.
Game in the system.
Loot Bros does not condone stealing.
That's right. That's right.
Nah, I'm gonna do it.
So, hey, for the record, the GoldenEye 007 Reloaded achievements suck balls.
They're all multiplayer, right?
Man, they're just like complete all the objectives on certain difficulties. And then some multiplayer crap, and it's stupid. These achievements suck. All right, what about you, Joe? How many controllers have you broken?
Well, are we counting Nintendo Drift here, or are we just counting like actual controllers? Because if we count that, I'm already down 2 sets of Joy-Con. So is that 4 controllers since it comes with 2 of them?
Yep.
So that's 4 there. I have one shitty ass PS4 controller that I got last Christmas, and it broke the day after Christmas. The X button just got stuck. I don't know if I was doing some extracurricular activities, and then I was using my controller, or if it just broke.
Wow.
I don't know. Hiya!
Say that you're fun when you're not really fun.
Hiya!
Into it because they would never understand.
Oh yo!
Oh my god.
Some booty. Oh, you want to get the G's on your controller? Some booty.
This is why it's an hour into the show. We're still doing community questions.
Let's continue.
This is the way it was meant to be.
Honestly, like up until this last generation, like PS4 and PS5 and Switch, controllers lasted forever. Now they're just built with shitty parts, and they want you to buy controllers. So it's kind of how it's been.
Get the money.
I mean, for me, because they keep on coming up with different color. Like PS3 was so bad for me because every time they came up with a new color, I had to have it. And so, like, I'm like,
I gave up that life.
Well, I'm like, PS3, you can hook up 8 controllers. So if I have 8 friends over, which we're all gamers here, so we don't have 8 friends. that actually can physically come to your house. So I'm like, if I have 8 friends come over, we can all play like NHL together and play a game. So I kept on buying controllers. So like PlayStation, I have 2 different camo ones, a blue one, a red one, the green one, and then like 5 black ones, and then 2 first gens, and then I think I have one more color I'm forgetting, but that's the reason why I never really technically quote unquote broke them, is because I just never really I just bought new ones to like the odds of me, like I've been wanting to buy the new black and crimson one for the PS5 so bad, but I'm like, I already have 2 controllers, and I'm the only person that plays with it. No one's coming over to my house. Joe lives in New Jersey, unless Joe's going to drive up here from New Jersey to Canada. I mean, maybe I'll get a third one.
I'd have to drive up and then all the way across. So
true enough, and then you have to get
drive on some frozen lakes too. No, I'm not about that life.
No, you got to get the. No, what you do is I can schedule a beaver build for you. That they'll build a dam for you, so you just drive to the edge. They'll have a dam ready for you, and just float with the beavers, and you just float up, and that's how it works.
My son just used his birthday money and bought himself, after he bought his own PS5. He just bought himself the Crimson Red controller.
This dude's a baller,
dude. Yep, he's very, very, very good. Yeah, I had the black one in my eyesight. I didn't have it in my hand because they won't let you touch them. But
then that's it.
I really want the black one.
I regret
white ones over here.
I regret not buying that midnight purple PS4 controller, the anniversary one. Had it in my hand, and I put it down at Best Buy, and I regret it ever since. Like, that is the most gorgeous controller that Sony ever made. Was that like anniversary? Like
the whole
PS4
console.
Controller.
Man, the anniversary console one.
Yeah, that console was insane.
Yeah, I had it in my hand. I had the one that they sold separately. The one that was like, you know what I don't like about the crimson colors? Let's just go on a rant here. This is my rant of the week.
Here we go.
I don't like how they're like, hey, let's charge $5 for these colors. Like, why?
I think Crimson's the only one that has that.
It's bullshit. Yeah. It's bullshit. There's no reason to charge $5 more. Like, did it cost more money for red paint? This ain't a freaking car. This ain't an insurance company. Why am I paying $5 more? This is stupid.
Hey, we charge more money if you want to get multiple colors over at work. So I'm just trying to tell you. You got to change out the paint in the paint booth.
Listen. Sony needs to switch to a laboratory thing like Microsoft. It's time. I want to be able to make a controller in any color I want to make it in.
Yeah, but then you can't say anything you want. Have you ever... Okay, off on my own little tangent here. I sent an article to someone I knew. There was an article where this guy tried to see what they would let him get away with on printing things on the controller, that what words you could say. And it was hilarious because he was saying, well, you can't say hate Microsoft, but you can say hate Nintendo or hate PlayStation. And it's like, there's like certain races that it lets you like say hate to. And then there's certain ones that it will let you say like, yeah, it actually will let you say the word, like you can't say the word kill with certain things, but you can say the word murder with certain things. And then like, there's certain words that are just like not allowed to be put on there. Like obviously like, your like penis and vagina or whatever. And they even like, I think that someone said you can't put ovary. Ovary cannot go on there because I guess it's a banned word. And so this guy went through all the banned word list and then went through like trying every combination of what you could actually put on these controllers. It's a great like 3-minute read. It's hilarious. Anyway, a little tangent there.
Well, I like the idea of the controller laboratory. I also like the idea of like a special controller being special.
True enough.
I don't care either way. I just love getting new controllers. It is just like
I can't wait for like the first version, the first people to come out with, because if PlayStation does what they did last time with the PS4, is if they let a third-party company get the license to make a PS5 DualSense controller, like when they had
like the Call of Duty ones or the
like the
ones.
No, not like that, Joe. No. I'm talking about like a scuff controller or
I don't want that crap. This controller is perfect the way it is. Have you ever held the DualSense?
Yeah, you're the one that complains that the buttons are farther apart than the PS4, and I tried to explain to you.
I'm getting used to it.
I told you they're the exact same distance, and you're like, no. And I'm like, well, it's because the DualSense actually makes your hands bend in and actually like properly hold the controller instead of like holding it like a baby.
Yeah, but now
Like the
now my
PS
hand's not used to it, man. I don't get like my hands like
Joe, I hate to break it
Got
to you.
them
I
sissy
ain't
fingers.
played a PlayStation console in a while. I didn't even notice that. It's not affecting me at all.
well, shut up.
It's
PC
because
mastery.
I mean, do you remember this is what Joe's wife tells him all the time. I'm just not used to it, Joe.
Go play PC, Tanner. That's all I can say. Go play PC.
Okay.
Yep. What about you, Tanner? Have you broken any controllers while gaming?
I about snapped one in half doing the Mile High Club.
Oh,
Modern Warfare.
Jesus God, I'm sorry.
I got it.
I did it my
Almost.
second. I did my second try on 360. Did I never tell you guys that story?
All right, Tricky.
Then I could never do it again, though.
Oh, it's like
So-
you can only load it to someone's save so many times under your console.
No, I don't ever do that shit. I'm not. I won't even let people, dude. I won't even let you. And you've asked numerous times. You're like, let me just come on your PlayStation. We'll do share play, and I'll beat
I
it
wouldn't
for
let
you.
anybody do that.
I just won't let anybody do it. Just won't.
Have you tried it again on PS4?
I did, and I felt like it was harder on the PS4 version than it was on the 360 version. Probably because the game runs better on fucking PlayStation. Because
You know,
it's a
there's a
remastered edition.
There's a workaround to get it like.
Oh,
released,
you mean
right?
the saving the game, turning it off, and then or saving the game or turning the game off or loading it back to the screen while you try to change the setting and then change it back and then load it back up? That one?
No, you literally play the level on easy until you get to the final part, and then quit it, bump the difficulty up, reload the save.
Yeah, that's what I just
Right,
said.
yeah,
Yeah. That's what I did for the whole game until I got to that, and then I just didn't do it for that.
Yeah, you can do that. It's
Yeah,
so much easier.
Yeah, I did it for the whole game until that point, and then yeah, it was like, oh. Did you get the platinum in that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's like one of my last platinums I got.
Darrell, you broken any controllers?
Well, I tried one time.
I tried.
I was playing Dead or Alive 2 on the OG Xbox with the Duke.
Well, there's your first
Alright, the
problem.
big-
Well, you can't break
big
the
fat
Duke.
Dookie
That's why it's called the
controller?
Duke.
Oh my gosh, dude. I threw it. I launched it. I was so mad. And it hit something and then hit my foot, like my toe.
Sorry to break your foot.
And dude, it felt like it. It didn't
Well-
really break it, but yeah, I was so friggin' mad, dude. I was more mad after I smashed my toe with the ricochet of a Duke controller. That did not break, but I tried.
My toe.
Yeah, basically.
Honestly,
All right.
there's two reasons why it's called the Duke, right? Because it's big and it's a piece of shit.
There you go. Best Trophy Hunter writes in. He says, "Do you do Fortnite dances?"
Are we 12?
Do you do terrible PlayStation handles?
Ouch.
So yes and yes. All right. Tbyrd, you look like a Fortnite dancer.
Oh yeah, I totally play that garbage game.
Do you do it in real life though? IRL, bro. You ever flossing over there?
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I'd push my kid over if she ever did that shit in real life.
My kids, dude, my youngest friggin' dabs on everything like constantly. Like my kids, they
Oh
do the
boy.
floss, they do it all. My kids are doing like
Jesus.
competitive arena mode right now, and they are friggin' killing it. They are straight killing the game.
They're cranking 90s.
Man, they're doing something. I don't know what a cranking 90 means, but yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, when a man loves a woman,
Oh God, here we go. Not this whole thing again. I've been trying to avoid this for a long time. All right. Gareth writes in and says, would it be correct to assume that Xbox is, quote, anti-backlog beatdown with their newer titles being released day one on my Game Pass? Would you assume it offers more temptation for participants, for participants to play these games, therefore not scoring points on the backlog beatdown due to the game being released this year? Just real quick before we get into this question, currently here on the Loot Bros podcast, we are doing the backlog beatdown call your shot event. The way it works is games released in 2021 do not count. Right. So if you play a game that comes out this year, we have deemed it not backlog. It is front log. Therefore, it doesn't count. So, with that being said, with Game Pass adding all of these games, they're all their first party and all the games that they bought day in date. Game Pass, I would say, yeah, Gareth. I think they are very anti-backlog beatdown. As a matter of fact, the only reason they do this is because of their sheer hatred for the backlog beatdown. What do you guys think?
Sounds about
I
right.
mean, that sounds about right. It's what Microsoft does. They just look at everybody else and they're like, what can we do to make everybody else hate us at the same time as like us?
That's right. Yeah. No, we could make, about $700-800 million off of this Gears of War game. But because the Loot Bros are doing the backlog beatdown,
I got a trophy!
Got him. See, we don't even need dubstep this episode. I should be playing trash games right now.
So I could just keep on clicking the button and just have it just be like ding 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 ding.
You let me get to the end of this mission. I'm gonna start spamming for the rest of the show.
Oh Jesus.
So yeah, I would say yeah, Gareth. I think you're dead on the money right there. I think that Phil's got some explaining to do on why he hates gamers and the backlog beatdown. So, all right, Matt G writes in and says, "It's been said that excuse me, I can't read. I can't read good. I didn't graduate Derek Zoolander's school for kids who can't read good." Start over. Matt G says, "It's been said on the show that Microsoft is devaluing their games by putting them day one on Game Pass. I've crunched the numbers," he says. Year Game Pass Ultimate? Dear Lord, somebody get that kid. Sounds like she's on fire back there. All right. Matt says that a year of Game Pass Ultimate is $180. This includes 36 free games with gold, 12 of which are 360 games you keep. And yeah, sure, you don't keep nothing if your subscription lapses. And of course, hundreds of games available on console, PC, and on cloud. Year PS Plus is $60, includes 24 free games, of which you only get to keep by keeping your subscription active. I'm going to stop right there. I was pretty sure games with gold work the same way.
Some of them, you get the 360. I think the 360 backwards compatible, like the games that they add that are just absolute garbage half the time. Yeah, those ones you get to keep because they can't recycle garbage.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Though. I wasn't aware of that, but that's but
the exact same time, that's also the same reason for a lot of people that didn't know. For the longest time, you didn't need PS Plus to play any type of free-to-play game that was available through the console. With PlayStation having the biggest amount of free-to-play games available, it would make actually people being able to buy a console and having a complete library of 20 to 30 games without ever having to pay for them. Whereas Microsoft, you actually had to have not only a games with gold pass to play the free-to-play games, you also had to have it to do Netflix. So, yeah, I don't know.
Which they just changed recently, though.
Oh, yeah, no. They just saw PlayStation was doing the better version of it, and they decided to copy it. Makes sense. You copy you copy the people that are winning. That's how you do it.
Kind of like how you got Lane Pass when we had PS Now first. But I mean, hey, who's really
who's really counting, right? I mean, it's not like if you take $15 and then you divide it by the 4 free games a month they get with their pass plus their 365 games. So then let's just say let's just say 350 to say who's counting, right? So that means each developer only gets 4 cents for every subscriber. I mean, if not less, because they have to pay for the Game Pass as well. So I mean, 2 cents for every subscriber. Whereas then when you take PS Plus and you take your $10 a month and then you divide that by only the 4 games that you get for free, I mean that's $250 going to each person for everything they buy. And then because the games come a year after, as Joe knows, most games a year after they've come out go into the either if it sucked go into the $5 bin or they go into the $20 to $30 bin. So I mean, a game company making $250 for every person that's a PS Plus subscriber, which is it's 17 million people right now. So then when Final Fantasy VII Remake came out and they got that, so then there's 17 million people. and then they get $2.50 for that. They only made $34 million, so it's not that bad, right? Like it's just devaluing is not a thing. The companies don't make money off that, but no, don't worry about it. When the guy makes his 0.04 cents off of his whatever he makes, he makes $10. Like you gotta take that into consideration. Every company's got to make their own, and I mean, when it comes time for a new game to come out, because we wait a year for PlayStation to have a game come out. On Xbox, I can pay $15. So, I mean, really, in sense, I mean, if I'm lucky, I can pay $1. So then I'm valuing the one game of brand new Halo. I buy it for a month, get off of it. That means I only paid $15 for Halo. But then Halo's only getting 4 cents of that because we figured that out, right? That means I value Halo at 4 cents. So devaluing wise, a brand new PlayStation game is worth $70. It's worth $30 after a year, and then it goes on PS Plus for $250. After a year, it's still worth $250. But you're day one at 4 cents. So devalue wise, I mean, 4 cents, I think, if I'm correct, I may be wrong, is a little bit less than $250, not by much, but that's pretty much how it all works, right? I mean, and that's Game Pass Ultimate too, right? So, like, I mean, you gotta look at it as the way it is.
Yeah, this has been the Loot Bros podcast, guys. I don't think there's any more information we can put out to make the show any better. We've reached the apex.
There you go.
There you go. No,
I studied for that question just in case anybody. I read the questions to prepare for the show. I may or may not have like completely planned out that entire topic all off the top of my head, but topic.
Well, I will say this. All right. So Matt writes in basically he asks, what's the difference between Xbox putting and get something on Game Pass for a day one, whereas PS Plus puts it on a year after. You did just break it down monetarily, so I'm not going to comment on that. What I would say is this: I would love to get
the PlayStation game sell. That's the difference.
Well, I keep saying that, but the Xbox White Knights cannot stand to hear the fact that PlayStation games sell and that Xbox games don't. So
the reason Game Pass exists. Well, I mean, no, let's do this because they want to keep bringing this up. Okay, so why does Game Pass exist? Does anybody know why?
It's to push Microsoft games into people's pockets, and then they sugarcoat it. It's like building a cake. You can always have very shitty pre-made cake mix, and then if you get a real nice icing to go on top of that, and you see this beautiful looking cake, it might be styrofoam and tastes like absolute garbage in the middle of it, but if it looks nice on the outside with that Bethesda sprinkles, I mean, it just it seems like that people will buy it.
So here's the reason why it exists, because Microsoft couldn't sell games last generation, right or wrong.
100%. That is the reason why. As a matter of fact, I was listening to a show the other day where was Sato, the guy over Microsoft, asked Phil Spencer why they should even keep the Xbox division after this past generation or during this past generation. And he said it took 2 weeks to come up with a good answer. He got back with him and basically pitched him the whole Game Pass model. That Game Pass essentially has saved Xbox.
That's 100% to save it.
So,
it's a smart idea for them on the sense of looking into the future of this. If they get to the point, which quote unquote Phil Spencer quote, because Xbox people forget that Phil Spencer talks out of his butthole most of the time, but when he does talk, he actually makes quotes. And he was asked if it was ever going to come to PlayStation or Switch, and they did. His quote was, "It's on our list of things to do, just not at the immediate time," which means in the end, they're going to build this huge thing, because I still hold my prediction. When Starfield comes out, they will have Game Pass for PlayStation, and every sucker, and especially me, is going to pay $15 goddamn a month so I can play Starfield. 100%.
I'm not, because I don't like Bethesda games that much. So,
I'm going to do it.
Okay. Flip real talk though, because we get a lot of heat in the Facebook groups for this Game Pass thing, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I poke fun at Game Pass all the time. As a Game Pass subscriber since day one and a PS Now subscriber, all right, I've used them both. I like them both. They do serve their purpose. Granted, I don't use them as much as I pay for them. I'm definitely the sucker in the deal that just lets it renew and just doesn't ever take advantage of playing the games or finishing the games. But they are cool. They're really cool, especially for people who do not buy games. For people who buy games, it is, is very anti what I like about buying my games. So, my big stance on these subscription models is I have them. They can keep taking my money, but I'm also going to keep buying my games. And I'm going to sit there and ask why in the world these exist, because there's no way giving your first party lineup away like you do that you're making money off those games. You just can't.
You just
Well, they
can't
make
sustain
money.
this
It's
model.
just
Look at
you can sustain.
it's not like
this
it was.
mo-
It's not like they were.
It's
And if you look
consist-
at Netflix, it took them 12 years before they became profitable doing this exact same thing.
Yep.
And it's like, sure, the reason why people have Netflix is for the original content. People aren't going to Netflix because of this, all the amazing library of things they have, So people go to platforms in general for the original content. So the thing that kills me is that what you're doing, and I would say this for PlayStation 2, if they were putting their stuff on their day one, is you are in fact devaluing your first party content down to the monthly subscription, opposed to selling it at a premium, which is more consumer friendly, but it's not worth owning.
100%.
And it's unfortunate for somebody who just loves and values physical games, because at the end of the day, I don't buy my Xbox games. And I keep going back to this. My brother, who is the biggest friggin' Xbox shill I've ever met up until recently, he was just like, friggin' Xbox, if it didn't matter. I bought him a PS4. Tanner and I split the cost of the PS4. All right. We bought him a PS4. We bought him, I bought him God of War. We bought him Horizon Zero Dawn. And he wouldn't even play them, even though he didn't buy them, because they were Xbox. I mean, they were not Xbox. That's how diehard he was.
Jesus.
And then after this past generation, right, there was just no games coming out, and he switched over to PC, and now he's just like, yep, this had Xbox actually pumped out games and kept me there, I would have never left. He's like, now he's PC, he just plays whatever, and he might Game Pass every now and again. I don't even think he has a current Game Pass subscription. And this was the biggest freaking Xbox shill I've ever met. So, and then we were talking this past weekend, and he was like, yeah, I didn't even buy Gears 5. And on top of him being the biggest Xbox fan I've ever met, at least at one point in time, Gears of War is his favorite franchise. And he's like, I didn't have to. I got it on Game Pass. And I'm like, okay. So, granted, this isn't the case for everybody. I understand. But you just took someone who has pumped money into your system for years and years and years. And then not only is he not a customer anymore buying your games, but he doesn't even keep your subscription model, your subscription service. Okay. And then he did not even buy his favorite franchise, the game that you offer exclusively. And so a lot of my conversations and my, dumb Game Pass stuff is when you take somebody like him and you break him away from it, he can't be alone. Like, I don't own Gears 5. I've bought every Gears game.
It's gonna be that thing. I'm gonna tell you right. We just had the same. I mean, we're kind of going into the topic in 2 weeks, but I mean, the crazy thing is, I think we're gonna. We talked about a little while earlier in the show about the value of games and like buying these games. And I kid you not, in a couple of years, Xbox exclusives are gonna be physical, are gonna be worth so much money because no one's gonna be buying them, and they're gonna be worth stupid amounts of money because all of a sudden they're gonna be like, oh, who actually owns a copy of this?
Nobody. Yeah, nobody. And again, now it is getting Xbox products in other people's hands, and it is like they're doing a good job with it. I always talk about the negative of Game Pass, and because another thing is too, and this will again in 2 weeks we're really going to break down into the the numbers of the two services and all that good stuff. But it's like I look at it, it's like everyone talks about Game Pass, how great it is, and so that's why I usually just say, hey, this is my opinion. It happens to be a little more negative, whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I've had PS Now since it started, even back when it was just a freaking rental service, like you literally rent individual games. But it's like you look at it and it's like the thing I love about PlayStation Now is the thing that I don't like about Xbox Game Pass. PlayStation Now has an amazing library of first party exclusive games from PS3 and PS4 gen, right? Not interfering with what I'm going to purchase on PS5. Whereas Xbox has that, has like all their exclusive stuff on there at day and date. And for me, it's like, I've already bought those old games. I've experienced them. I played them and I enjoyed them. And I'm so glad now that they're on a streaming service or a downloadable service where other people that maybe didn't buy them all can experience them, But when you look at Xbox, it's like, well, we're all just going to stream this at the same time or, download at the same time. So it's like, sure, I'm going to do it, but it's just not as exciting. Like for me, it's like, I don't get excited about the existence of an upcoming Xbox game. Because like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I already have it now. Like I have the service, and it just it takes I guess the biggest part of where it devalues things for me isn't even so much the resale value, what the actual cost of the game is worth. It is, you've robbed me of the excitement of going and getting your game. Maybe that's just a personal thing. Maybe that's just a dumb thing that nobody else cares about. But for me, it's like, oh dang, that sucks. I don't. Like it used to be such an experience going and getting games, and now it's just like, oh, okay, well, yeah. When Halo came out, I had it. It was fine. I played it one time and then deleted it. Didn't care. Now, and I do. This might just be me, but when I have to spend my actual money, like a decent amount of money on a video game, I'm like, man, this is valuable to me. So I don't know. That might just be me, but I do have a serious issue. Even though I'm going to exploit it, I'm going to use it with just the first party stuff being day one. I just like to me, it's like, okay, well, this is the thing now. I'll have it. So,
but it's like, how can you turn down $60 per sale for a game for nothing? Like you get nothing, and like the developers work years and years on that, and you make nothing.
Oh, they make money, but it's becomes the point of where like Netflix was. Netflix didn't start making a profit until basically everyone had Netflix. And it's the same thing with Game Pass. The what's happening right now is we're seeing this huge push for them buying a lot of secondary companies as well. Like so when you look at a lot of the just the games in general that they were like, like Outriders was day and date, Dark Alliance is day and date. So they're buying these new releases to get those people that would have, because I used to sell insurance. I'm going to tell you right now, when you charge someone $12 a month, they don't know it comes out. 100% they don't know it comes out. So what ends up happening is you get that person in with that game. They're like, well, why would I pay $40 for Dark Alliance when I can just pay $15 and play it, and then I'll just cancel my subscription? They forget to cancel their subscription and they have Game Pass, and they're just waiting for that day where they have enough people where it will come to a point where, like I say, that 4 cents per game, if you're at, if you look at PlayStation, if you can get to a point where, like, what did they have last? They had 70 million Xbox Ones out there, or 60 million or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
So if they have 60 million people and every single one of them, and say even like you're going to have a 25% increase, that's 80 million Xbox Game Pass subscriptions, and then you got to count the PC market now, and then you count the PlayStation and the Switch.
But then it's like, it's like here's the thing, like, okay, so they count all their purchases for their games. I'm air quoting. You can't see it because we're recording, but like, it's not a purchase if I just download something. Like, I already had it. It was free.
Yeah, but that's the best part about for them, because all they're doing is renting you the license to the game. So technically, the way Game Pass works is the company that sells them a game gives them so many licenses, which means like I said, that's how Game Pass kind of works. The workaround with it is it's just figuring out what to do with it. And like I say, that's where Game Pass at one point will become profitable for companies that are on it. Now, the question is how many games will be on that list once it becomes profitable? What games will they be? Is it just going to be Xbox exclusives and a few games outside of that, and that's it? Is it going to be like a bunch of good stuff? Like, we don't know yet on where that sits. It's all up in the air. It's just a big giant bunch of up in the air stuff, and it's who knows what happens in the next however long.
Well, I want to turn the conversation a little bit. So, because we always talk about the monetary value based on like how the number, it just doesn't make sense to us, right? But I mean, big companies are very, very notorious for losing money for a long time so that they can make it in the long run. Like look at Amazon. Amazon is notorious for like they will they'll corner a piece of a market and lose money forever until they just dominate that market. Then they start making their money.
Yep.
So like, Game Pass is doing that. Their subscribers is way higher than PS Now. So they're gonna win with this, and what that win looks like for them is different than what a win look like for me. But either way, but getting on the staying on the subject of value, because that's what Matt writes in about. Like at the end of the day, guys, value is not just the money; it's the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you have a good time? Do you enjoy using it? Does the service work? For all those reasons, I would say absolutely, it is extremely valuable.
Well, the thing is, too, his value is based on the individual person, too. Like I was talking with Darrell before the show even started. If you've never played, if you're brand new to gaming this year and you pick up Game Pass or you pick up PS Now, you might see more value because maybe your friend's into Xbox. And that friend's like, hey, Darrell, so I know you've never played anything before. You should really check out this series and this series and this series. And I think that's the big thing. It's pointing people in the right direction. It's the same thing when we looked at with PS Now. It's the same idea. There's a lot of good games on there that I bet you no one plays because there's just too much stuff in general on those. And that's where values down to each person that sees it. And when it comes down to it, it's going to be the big thing where when the Game Pass people are going to always argue that Game Pass is more valuable because guess what? They see it as more value in their end. And same thing with the PS Now people are going to see it as more valuable because they see the value themselves. It's all down to that. Like, I mean, we'll go through in a couple weeks here the actual like monetary value of money and all that stuff. But I mean, when it comes to just you can never devalue something. I might think that a Mr. Big Bar is more valuable than, two Mars bars. But I mean, am I saying that it's more value because, of how much it's worth? Or am I saying that because of what I feel I would like more? So,
Yep.
It is what it is.
We're gonna put a pin in that. All right. So if you listen to the show, you made it this far, you listen to these long conversations. In 2 weeks, we're gonna have a full panel. We're gonna have people who have used both PS Now and Game Pass. Kory and I have spent hours, and we'll spend more hours.
Hooray!
With spreadsheets listing every single game on both services, and we've compiled their Metacritic scores. Okay. So basically, we're going to break down what the actual value is per Metacritic based on what you're paying for, right? I'm just going to look at it from that perspective. It's not going to be biased. It's not going to be like one is better than the other. It's like, let's look at what these two companies are offering us for the money and see where they stack up, at least via Metacritic scores based on the games that are on there right now. And what's been really great, and I'll just say this and then we'll move on, is like there's so many freaking games on both of the services.
Oh my god!
And it's so weird when you just start like scrolling through, you don't realize that number, right? You don't realize like these games. It's like after a certain amount, they start to just look like fodder. It's just like I don't know what I'm looking at anymore. But when you actually have to write the name down, look at the score, right? And it's like, oh man, this is crazy. Oh man, I didn't know this was on here. As many times as I've scrolled through PS Now, I did not know that some of those games were on there. As many times I've scrolled through Game Pass, I did not know some of these games were on there, And then some of it was like, oh man, crap. Last time I remember this franchise, these other games were on there as well that are no longer there.
Oh, so it's ridiculous.
It's pretty interesting. Now, again, I just want to throw this out there. The next time we do that, 2 weeks from now, all right, it won't be a one's better than the other. This is why this shouldn't exist. It will be strictly, here's the offerings. Here's what their Metacritic scores are. We're going to look at a lot of different factors in that, and it's going to be pretty cool. So it's going to be
Levi on for this. Can we bring Levi on for this, please?
I mean, if you reach out to him, I'll be fine to have that. So. All right, next question. CJ, the Sony pony to rule them all, writes in and says, Nintendo recently locked fast travel in Skyward Sword behind an amiibo. What game and feature would you like to see locked behind the poop sock?
So I'll answer this question first because I already answered it in the actual chat. So it's a misconception that fast travel is locked behind the amiibo. So actual infinite fast travel or fast traveling any place on the map is tied to the amiibo, which is not a feature in the original game. Fast traveling from the statues, which is what was in the original Skyward Sword, is still accessible to everyone. But the fast travel feature where you can fast travel at any time is locked to the amiibo.
Dope. So basically, what you're saying is Nintendo has found a way to resell you a game again for the 1,000,000th time,
And then sell you a $20
and then
amiibo.
they sold you a toy so that you can actually play the game.
Well, I'll play the game. Play it. They locked a quality of life feature behind an amiibo, which is
That sounds like some Capcom junk right
up.
there.
It's bad enough people are
Capcom's like-
arguing about the easy mode that's in Psychonauts 2. Now it's going to be like Nintendo's just going to be like, oh, you want to see easy mode? It's behind this amiibo.
So Capcom does this thing nowadays. We're like, oh, here's our game, and then a month later they're like, hey, for $5, here's all the unlocks so you can beat our game. It's like, they're finding really clever ways to sell you more of the same game you already own.
Imagine if Capcom did make amiibo. They'd be like, oh, here's Resident Evil super hard mode, but it's locked behind this amiibo.
Oh, imagine if they just did with Street Fighter. They're just like, you can't Haruken
amiibos.
unless you buy the Ryu amiibo. It's bigger. It's bigger if you get the amiibo, and then just everyone's just got amiibos, and they're just like smashing them against the like.
Dude, takes
thing
up
just
takes
to
up
do
the
moves.
Hadouken. The Hadouken takes up the entire screen and just kills you one hit. But
Yeah,
it's locked behind a $30 amiibo though.
yeah.
Speaking of the Hadouken, I had this idea for a soundbite where when we're playing Xbox games on the show, we get achievements instead of just saying
But who honestly
achievement,
does that?
like we do the trophy toasty. We could be like, do the Hadouken, but achievement.
Garbage.
Layered on. Trash. All right, this week's official topic. Are you guys ready?
Wait, that's all our community questions? That's it?
Yeah, that was it. That was
Oh.
it. You got a question of the week before we go into this week's official topic?
We
No, I
can't
think
pick CJ. We have to keep that going.
Yeah. That's so funny. CJ, okay. Here's CJ, right? So he's like a fan of the show. Okay.
Well, his question, he
Friend
was
of all
wrong,
of
so
ours.
it doesn't matter. His question was wrong.
That's right. Boom. Your question sucks. All right. So check it out. So CJ is a friend of all of ours, a fan of the show, writes in, and for whatever reason, just didn't get question of the week. Then he joins the cast of the show.
That
Still
disqualifies
can't
you.
get question of the week.
That disqualifies you automatically. You can't win question of the week if you're on the show.
Look. He missed this week just so he could write in a question and then still lost. And he knows the secret sauce. He knows the formula.
You gotta write a wrestling question.
Just wrestling.
So no one wins this week because y'all suck.
We didn't even get one. You're all disqualified. That's right. No, I want to say, I want to give it to best trophy hunter for the Fortnite dances.
No, I'm gonna go with the one who inspired that like 40-minute conversation about
Matt G.
Yeah, Maddie wins this week, hands
There
down.
you go. Matt G. Nah, man, he's doing really good. He's won more than once now. He's done figured it out. He's like, let's trigger them boys. You want to win question of the week? You gotta get them triggered.
You gotta ask us Xbox question, but there's only Sony ponies on.
Hey, I'm playing Xbox right now, so I'm notoriously arguing against Xbox while simultaneously playing Xbox.
I feel like you have one, you have a problem, and two, I feel like you should just try to win the leaderboard 1 week just to piss CJ off.
I could do it.
No, you can't.
Because I don't really
believe it.
spam that hard.
No.
Oh, you won't believe me? You don't
What
believe
in,
me?
I don't believe
in
you can't do
Xbox
it.
360? Oh no, you get round 3. You get King Kong.
He's done all those
and-
already. Please.
No, actually, not on this profile. On my original one. I
See,
did.
there you go. See, done.
Yeah.
Got
Just
a
that's
copy
all
of
you need.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Dude, see, nowadays we don't have to play those 8-hour long games. You can just go to.
I did
go
a
to
month and a
Xbox
half
One,
and got
get
37,000 points, and then I gave up on achievement hunting.
Dude, freaking CJ does that in 2 weeks now.
No, I know but CJ's a different type of. I don't even think he's a real person. I think he's just a computer that just somehow has managed to play like multiple consoles at the same time. And he's just like you. It's like when you look at the nerd, and then it's just like he probably just plays his games with like one hand on both sides, and he's just got an Xbox and PlayStation going at the same time, and he's like playing. He's like got one of those accessibility controllers hooked up to his chin to play his Switch, and then he's just doing all three at the same time. It's probably what happens.
So I'll give Jared a pass because he just said, "Oh, by the way, congratulations, Jared. I forgot. We should have toasted to that. Jared just had twins." So,
Does he want a toast for that? I mean, twins that's a lot of work.
that is a lot of work, but you know what? That means you had to go in twice.
Congratulations. Oh boy.
Congratulations, my friend.
So Jared, we're not gonna have you make the CJ Gaming with all of his orifices memes this week because you got twins.
Make it anyway.
As soon as you raise them kids up and get them wiping their own butts, will you make us a meme of CJ Gaming with all of his orifices, please? Thank you.
I wipe my own ass, Sonny. I wipe my own ass.
All right. Matt G wins question of the week. This week's official topic. All right, so Kory, you have been talking for a little while now about going for a world record in gaming.
Okay, so I know you say it's a little while. If you ask Kalai, it's a very different answer to that question. I've been talking about this for probably the last 6 years.
Okay,
but I've actually done it. Started actually putting effort behind it, and actually because I got tired of people just telling me that, well, if you don't do it, then it doesn't count. And I'm like, well, fine then. You want me to see me actually put it into action? I ended up, and just a little shout out. I've joined with the Dual Screens podcast, and they're helping me put this all together and get this all going. To have a world record for for right now, it sits. There's a reason why I was saying I'm not playing Call of Duty, because the world record's playing Warzone for 137 hours. Is the record as it stands. And then it's going to be doing that on Warzone, and then who knows what is after that. But that's where the record sits. And currently, if I do it, it's going to be a total of 6, possibly a guaranteed 3, if not up to 6 world records all in one go. So,
all right. Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take it slow and explain to us what your goal is and each record you're going for, and how you plan on making that happen.
So, I mean, it all ties into one. So let's get the records of actually what I'm going for. Originally, when I put this all together, when I first put it together, I applied a year and a half ago, just before COVID started. I applied for the Battle Royale record because some people don't know that every genre has its own record, as well as every series has its own record, as well as every subgenre sometimes can get into there, and then also to just in general total numbers always get its own record. So I applied for the Battle Royale record when it was 0. Then you have to set at least 24 hours, which right now someone just did it 6 months ago, so now it's 34 hours is now the current record. So I will be going for that. My first goal is to just do a straight stint of doing 36 hours to beat that record, to guarantee that first initial goal. The next one is the marathon. The big record is to beat the all-time record for gaming, which for a single person, not a team, a single person, is 136 hours, which was done on Call of Duty Black Ops 3. So it is also the world record for the longest time playing a Call of Duty game. So if I beat that, I then receive the Battle Royale record. I receive the longest time playing of any game. I receive the world record for playing any Call of Duty. If I can snaggle my way into it, I also have the record. If I'm correct, the first person record also falls in that category, because that's what it's held at right now. And if I play trios in Warzone, I'm going to see if I can get them to give me the squad record too. So if it's done, it should be 6 world records all in together, once said and done.
I got an announcement to make. I got an achievement.
Oh, I don't have anything for. Wait. Let me just find the soundboard here.
Look there, Tanner. You didn't even have to add no dubstep this week. So that's an incredible feat, man. Do you think you can really do it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've done it. I mean, me and Joe have done Extra Life the last. Well, we did Extra Life last year.
3 years ago.
And we did it 3 years before that, and I've always been able to do it.
I've done it the last 4 years.
Yeah, and I've always been able to do Extra Life with not having to switch out with people and whatever. I can do a full 24 hours, if not more. I think last time, the way it works is Guinness is nice and doesn't want people dying doing records anymore. So you do get a 10-minute break. It used to be 15 when the record was originally set. So that's where, I do have a little bit more of an uphill battle. But you get 10 minutes for every hour of games that you play. So with every hour of record, you get 10 minutes of rest. Now you can take that time and you can stack it, which is what I'm going to be doing. And then that way there it works out for every 24 hours you do, you get 4 hours. So that's why I'm doing 36 hours the first time. So then that way there, I stack 6 hours worth of sleep, but I only sleep for 4, which gives me that 2-hour window to kind of play around with things. And if something happens, or if I get tired later on, I can then take that extra hour or 2 hours to then, make it sure I can get to the end. It's sucking. What? Oh, here's the thing. I don't know exactly I'm gonna have to look into the exact ruling on all this. Like, basically, I'm gonna be doing
diarrhea.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of dietary things. So when it comes down to what I've been doing, I'm gonna be not eating big meals. I'm gonna be like,
his wife's gonna come in and feed him like a little baby bird.
yeah. Well, see, the thing is, as long as I'm playing, the record's still going. So I don't know how it works if I just walk over to my washroom while still playing on the controller, if that still counts. I think that's how
the meatloaf.
I think that's how they've done it before. Is a lot of them have just walked with the wireless controller and just walked away and kept on playing. So that's probably what's going to happen.
So what if you fall asleep at your chair, but your hands are rubber banded to the thumbsticks, and you're in Rocket League, and your car is constantly driving in circles?
I mean, technically, the way it works, there's nothing saying you can't sleep while playing, because the world record only states it's the longest time playing. It doesn't say without sleeping, right? It just says longest time playing. So as long as the game's playing, the only time is I have to then push the X button to start another match. So that's where the thing comes in. But that's why I picked Warzone as one of the games to do, is so that sole purpose of having other people to be able to push that side of things. Because I think at this point in time, if I had to do this on a world record where it was just by myself, it's a really hard record to do. But doing it with other people, that's going to keep me awake and aware. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of managing everything. So it's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna be drinking G Fuel or some type of version of it, but I'm gonna be drinking it very slowly so that I don't have to go to the washroom so often. And I'm gonna be like, when I eat, I'm gonna be just door dashing stuff, so I don't have to actually get out of the chair. It's gonna be like eating small meals. There's a lot of planning that I have to do on the side. It's not as easy. That was the big misconception of why this has been 6 years in the running, is because saying you're going to do it is one thing. People just think it's just like, hey, turn on your PlayStation, turn on your Twitch camera, and there you go. That's not as easy as it is. You have to have witnesses that watch you do it. So I have to have 2 people every 4 hours watching me do this, which just a little shout out. If anyone is interested, you can get in contact with Darrell on the Facebook group. He'll forward you to me on helping out as a witness, which means you would have to sit there and watch me for 4 hours and make notes of whatever I do. And with that, lucky enough, Guinness has been nice to me. Before, I had to get game developers to be a witness to that, which was the biggest hurdle. But now they've allowed me to do reviewers and podcasters on video games, count them as video game experts. So everyone here on this podcast with me is an expert in video games in the eyes of Guinness. So that's been the biggest struggle, is just getting that all together. to make it all work. And like I said, we're going to have more stuff coming down. You guys can check out the Dual Screens podcast with more information on it as we get closer to the event. I'll be back on here in 2 weeks as it is. The event right now is scheduled for August the 15th of next month. So it's not like it's definitely coming up fast. It's definitely approaching a lot faster than I anticipated, but it's going to be we're also going to have some training events. We're doing a bunch of special stuff. I'm trying to get special merch in as well, where you can buy a shirt with the time of when you bought the shirt. So someone's going to buy it at 69 hours and 69 minutes or something. It's going to be great. But we're trying to do a lot. So there's a lot of things going on in the background. And I mean, it's going to be a real cool thing. And like I said, whether I make the record or not, it's just going to be one hell of an event to be a part of and to do and bring a community together. I've only really started joining the gamer groups since I've been friends with Joe, pretty much since we started the Game Stuff podcast. And I mean, that's branched out to Game Stuff, and then it was into Dual Screens, knowing the guys over there. I met you guys over here, Darrell, and the Lou brothers. I mean, it's just been one hell of an experience. So this is kind of like the tail end of it, just making it where, after so many years of building my group of friends and stuff like that and building all this, I finally feel that I have the support behind me to do this. So it's a real neat experience for sure.
I dig it. Tanner,
See,
if you had to set a Guinness's World Record, what would it be?
I don't even know. I don't know, to be honest.
Playing Bloodborne the longest.
Bloodborne. Yeah, Bloodborne.
Actually, I think let me just double check something. Longest time playing, I think a Dark Souls game is a series. Longest.
I'd have to do hack and slash, right? To do a
yeah, you'd have to. Hack and slash counts as a Musu. Longest time playing.
So I would do longest time playing
Souls. Yeah, Souls game. Let's see. Longest time playing a Souls game. Oh, I gotta put Guinness. You can keep on talking. I'm just gonna continue.
Well, I would say, what was it? Call of Duty. Which one was the Call of Duty 4? Yeah, Call of Duty 4. They had those monster closets that never run out of enemies. And World at War, like you have to actually progress past a certain point to make the enemy stop spawning. There you go. Guinness World Record for camping the same spot and killing enemies for 150 hours.
No, I could not do that. That'd be so miserable.
Yeah, let's see.
Longest time playing Bloodborne with no pants.
I mean, like that's the thing I find so funny about when it comes to the world records is after looking it up and stuff. It below like there's a lot to do and there's a lot of records. Like I'm just just to give just so people know. Here's something: fastest time defeating the Nameless King using only feet in Dark Souls 3 is a world record.
God,
That's awesome.
It's the fastest time defeating the Nameless King without blocking, dodging, or parrying in Dark Souls 3.
Okay, I've seen people do that. That is like the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in that game.
Like surprisingly there's not. It doesn't look like there's a longest time playing Souls game. But yeah, like fastest completion of every game has one. Hardest boss has got one. Fastest completion of Dark Souls 3. First non-hit compilation of Dark Souls trilogy. That just sounds.
That one was wild. The dude got to the last game and then got hit once, had to redo them all.
But that's the big thing, right? It's such a cool experience where until looking it up, like I was talking with Darrell, it's really neat. The gaming industry's kind of given everyone a venue of where you can go to kind of your specialties. So I'm not very good at games. I'm gonna be my death counter in Warzone when I do this 136 hours is gonna be stupidly huge. It's gonna probably say that I won maybe once.
What if you get the most deaths as well?
Oh man, like the most deaths in like a 24-hour period in Warzone or something. Yeah. Like it's but that's the thing though, right? Like it's so cool the gaming industry's got to this point where you can be recognized as a gamer or have a following and you don't have to be just you don't have to be good at a game or you don't have to like you just have to be you, right? Like there's people all the time that get followed because of their you or and it's so cool that's how it's come nowadays. So it's just a
Heck
neat
yeah.
experience.
Yep. I'm sure that like JT or Jared, the longest amount of minutes wasted in their life listening to the Loot Bros podcast. Guinness record, boom. You guys got anything else?
Jeez.
What if you fail?
I mean, it to me it doesn't matter because the way that I've worked it out with the Dual Screen podcast at this point is my end goal is to do this every 3 months. Not to do it to the point of beating the 136 hours, but it's to work with a franchise that I love, or a game series I love, and just be like, here, I'm going to play the longest time playing a Final Fantasy game. I'm going to play the longest time playing a Monster Hunter game. I'm going to play the longest time playing like a Naruto game. Like, I'm just going to pick a franchise and continue doing this. And even if I fail this, I think that with all the effort we're putting in and with all like it blows my mind that you really don't know how much support you have behind you until you try to do something like this. Because I've gone like I went to my local comic shop and I've been going there for years. I don't buy comics. I buy Magic the Gathering cards. Wait 1 second. I got to do this for myself. So I've been buying Magic. And they've known me for a while because I owned a magic shop as well at one point in my life.
Nerd.
So it's one of those things where they've known me for a lot of years. And when it comes time where I was just talking to him and he was like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. What you've been up to?" And I told him about my record, and they've actually got their own con that they do every year. And so he's like, dude, send me the link, give me your info. We're going to put all of your record. We're going to stream it through our Facebook group. Same thing. One of the hosts that I got to talk to on Game Stuff, which all of you should check him out. It's Patrick King. He does a book series called Minds Behind Games. He's working on the PlayStation 2, I think, if I'm correct right now. He also has done a new comic called Conley. I've talked with him as well, and he's going to also stream the entire event through his website. So it's crazy to see the amount of support, especially in the gaming industry, that there is for when you want to do something with a bunch of people, and how many people give out their hand to help you achieve your goals as an individual. And like my goal is that when we get to the point of once we've done it once, while we have everything set up, right? So then doing it again is just, okay, cool. We know how this works. We know the rules are. We know how many witnesses we need. We know the best way to do this. I'm going to probably travel to New Jersey. It gives me the options to do that. Like, it's a real neat experience to have that and to continue doing this. Does this mean that if I don't complete the world record, I'm just going to be like, okay, well, I tried once, I failed, I'm not going to do it again? No, I'm just going to continue doing it till it happens. It's that drive to continue doing it. I mean, do I want to do it for money and fame and all that? No, I just want to do it because it's something I've always wanted to do. I mean, hopefully I get a career in gaming out of this. If it doesn't happen, all it does is just puts me in front of more people that to then moves me closer into that dream goal of mine. So it's the failure to me means that on August the 15th, I don't do it. But that's what failure for this event would be. That on August the 15th, if I don't stream it, that's a failure to me. If I sit there and even stream this for 36 hours and after 2 days, I'm like, you know what, guys, I've got to go to sleep. I can't do this. I have to give it up. I don't get the record. To me, that means I still tried and I still did it. And like I said, it gives us another option to do it again. And that's where I want to continue doing this and doing that, and I also want to do it. I want to try to work in a charity, and bring maybe do it somewhere, like bring hope to people that if you have a goal, to just do it, because it's you don't have to have you don't have to be LeBron James to play basketball. Heck, you can make a TikTok right now and scrape paint out of a bucket and make thousands of dollars a month. I mean, do you need a lot of talent to do that? No, you just need a person that thought, hey, this might be a good idea. And so, I mean, that's what it comes down to for me, is that really, like, for failure wise, like, I just don't see it. If I don't do the event, that's failure for me. So
That's awesome, dude. Well, I hope you get it, and I'm gonna watch and shoot. I'll share your stream.
yeah, and it's really neat. Like I said, it's a cool thing. Like I don't know, because Darrell, you've been doing this for a while. I mean, you've been in the gaming industry as a podcaster for how many years now?
Like 5 years.
And so,
years.
like,
we took a year off. But
yeah, but I mean, like, for you yourself, I mean, like what's the experience been for you? Because, like, let's be honest, like, okay, I want to ask a personal question. We'll see. I mean,
yeah,
you don't do this to make millions of dollars a year.
no, I do this to lose money.
Yeah. So, and that's, I mean, I don't want to say, like, obviously, like, let's hope that the Bros gets to a point where it makes money, or at least breaks even. But if that's the one thing I love about gaming, is when we do something or try something, you're not doing it to try to, you're just doing it because you want to, and it's fun,
Right.
and it's exciting. And
100%.
it's cool to have a bunch of people that want to do the same thing, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's a really cool experience to continue to have that. Like I say, like, how I met Joe was exactly that. It was like yesterday, where I was randomly, because I don't think you've ever heard this story, Darrell. So I was randomly streaming, because the first time I ever decided to, or a couple times I decided to stream on my PS4 when I first got it. I would just stream whatever was new, like the betas and the whatevers. And I decided to stream Wildlands, the beta.
Okay.
And I was this random guy, and we were like taking the tractors, and we were just smashing them into each other and all this stuff. And then halfway through my stream, all of a sudden, this person named Tricky Mick comes into my stream and says, "Hey, can I come into your stream to test my audio?" Because I guess he had to do that for some reason. I have no idea. Still don't understand but I was this random guy. I guess what he did is probably just looked up Division Wildlands, went to the bottom, there was I, and then he's like, "Okay, I'll just hijack this guy's stream to test things out."
That sounds about right.
But we were talking with him, and he's like, "Yeah, I run this podcast, and like, I've been doing it for however long. I just gave away a PlayStation VR." And I'm like, "That's super cool. I've always wanted to do something like that. It's what I've wanted to do, was do podcasting and interviews. It's something that I've always wanted to do in my life. I've always wanted to be a video game rep for international gaming company. The guy that just goes to the shows and just, like, hypes everybody at the hype man."
There you go.
And so for me, I was like, I really would like to get into on that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, go to the website, message me your name, we'll figure things out." And so he messaged me his name. He said to do a podcast, and it just so happened at the time that Joe had started Game Stuff with Kalai, and they had lost their third person. And Tricky's like, "Hey, one of the podcasts I have, they need a third person. Do you want to try out?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure thing." And I met with Joe and Kalai, and that's how me and Joe became friends. So it's something, how it's crazy how me streaming in my parents' basement in an unrenovated house with my wife sitting beside me in a single bedroom with 4 cats, streaming, meeting some random guy to meet Tricky, to get that randomly put on a podcast with Joe. And we've been friends ever since, in 4 years. And it's crazy that you tell me any other industry where you can see that happen. Like, it just doesn't. You don't see one. I mean, maybe a little bit, but like you always see those stories of. You talk about like Xbox. Like one of the coolest things I saw was someone messaged one of his buddies, and he's like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in a long time." And he goes, "My brother, this is my brother's Xbox. He passed away." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." But the brother was like, "I'll game with you though." Right. And I still use his account because I want to, continue on. And it's really cool that like there's those types of experiences you get in the industry. Right. And I don't think they're anywhere else. Like you, Daryl, or Tbyrd, even like, have you guys had any of those experiences that are just like only would happen in the gaming industry and not, like playing Rocket League or anything like that? Any crazy experiences?
Dude, yeah, 100%, man. We
The fact that we
I
have
got
Jeff Hanna in our Facebook group.
I think that's insane.
Yeah. Well, it's like we've been this whole podcast was something that me and Tanner used to travel and play music. Back then, Frosty, our old co-host, he was the bass player of our band. And, we had all this gear left over when we stopped playing music live, and we had all this time. So we listened to podcasts. Matter of fact, Tanner got me into podcasts. And we all game together. We used to do Gears of War hangouts and Halo nights and all kinds of crap like that. And so we're all hanging out, and it's like, man, we were making all these stupid jokes, and it was like, God, dog, man, if you had a microphone in this room, this would be gold. And so we ended up, just freaking sticking a microphone in front of us and making a bunch of, wiener and fart jokes. And before you know it, this we put them on SoundCloud, and this dude hit us up, guy named Tricky Mick. You might know him. And he goes, "Hey, would you like to do your podcast for my website?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So like, he goes, "Yeah, I heard you say you platinum Hannah Montana, and I turned off your show and messaged you."
I mean, did he turn it on? Now the question is, did he ever admit if he turned it off because he just doesn't listen to as soon as you are part of the Tricky Mick network, you'll learn really quickly that he doesn't listen to the episodes that you make anymore. As soon as you're off of it, he'll listen to everything. But
yeah. No, he did. He listened to ours for a long time. I don't know if he still does.
I remember making jokes every week on game stuff in his jokes about him.
Oh man,
just to see if he would listen to the episodes.
I can't believe, but wasn't that one time where we just like super roasted him? Like it was just this giant, like I kid you not, if he would have heard that episode,
even Roberto,
we would have been, oh yeah, no, like we would have been fired. Yeah. We would have been let go from the network, and we were like, let's test this, and we did it. And it was something because he was supposed to post it that week too, so it wasn't even like it went to Kalai. Usually Kalai posted it. And then that was that 1 week where it was me, Joe, and Roberto. So we knew we didn't have Kalai. So we didn't have any reins holding us back that week. We were on fire. We were loose. So like, oh man, it was great.
I don't use the word loose like that. That's gross.
Yeah, they were moist. But yeah, so we got hooked up with Tricky the same way. But through that, man, like, so we've done, Joe, we talk about wrestling a lot. I basically treated, Trophy Whores and at the time, Remember the Loot, which was our show, like the NWO and the NWO, like just anyone that they feuded against, So we were the Wolfpack, and we were talking all this junk, coming on their show and doing all these crazy antics, and and I was cutting wrestling promos on them and stuff. We challenged them to Trophy Wars, and you wouldn't believe how many people would just who would come across our show. And then write in oh my gosh, I've never heard of you guys before, but I heard this, or I stumbled across this because of the Trophy War. And now I want to help you platinum games and beat these guys. Or, or I'll tell stories about my kids, because I had real young kids when we started this show. And I had people write in and they're like, man, I just want you to know that I'm a dad and I'm a gamer. And it's just so cool hearing you talk about trying to work in time to play games, but yet not neglecting your family and all this stuff. And just things, just simple stuff like that where,
how dare you just not neglect your family?
I know. Right. But some of these people, we've met through the shows we've collaborated in other areas, we've done adding Joe to the show. I met Joe through friggin' gaming and Proven Gamer and all that stuff. So I'd CJ, like CJ is from Australia, if you guys didn't already know. And like CJ and I we work off different time zones, total different walks of life, everything. And yet me and CJ message each other almost daily.
I mean, he's not here because the dingo ate his baby.
Years. Yeah. He's eating a dingo right now.
Or is he eating a baby?
Or is he maybe CJ's a spider and we don't even know it.
Who knows?
But like, yeah, CJ's, I swear that's one of my closest friends anymore. It's like, and we would have never met each other had I been through gaming and gaming podcasts and all this stuff. So I totally feel you. So like, mine and CJ's story is very similar to yours and Joe's, where like kind of came together through, these circumstances, gaming and, and the podcast. And we've collaborated on multiple shows. CJ and I, we played, some games online together. Like just here we are doing this together. I mean, like it's been cool. So I totally get it. And I think that what you're doing is very neat. I think that the world record thing, I hope you get it. And I do think that that's going to break you into that next level,
Well, that's the hope. I mean, it's one of those things where like I came to a point where, I'm 33 and,
You're just a boy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like I came to a point where I just thought professionally, right? Because the thing is that you always remember as a kid, right? You always have those goals where it's like my brother was a professional before it was a profession, a Rainbow Six player. So he was like top clan and like top 10 on Xbox. For his clan was top 10 in the world, and he was in the I think he was like second in North America as a player. Like it was insane, but that was before it was a big thing. It was still like there was clans, but it was more or less like the you were doing it through Xbox chat to connect and stuff like that, right? And being 33, I've come to look where it's like, okay, I can't professional game because you know what? I'm at the point where I'm not going to be able to keep up with the people that are there. And I'm like, what can I do that no one else can, or at least do something that I think I could do for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And I'm like, you know what? I think I could, make events. I've always wanted to raise awareness for charity. I was born in a children's hospital and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to be someone that, like I said, an international sales rep for a video game company. I've also wanted to do it where I inspire kids to do stuff or have a youth group or something like that. And this kind of like checks all the boxes where, I can be there to be a positive influence for the generation that's coming up and show them, hey, look, like just achieve your goal. Like you don't have to be good. You don't have to, have a certain attire to be good on Twitch. I don't need a hot tub. I can do this.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I mean, you should see what my setup is like right now, just for to give a little bit of a real world check. As it is right now, my desk is I've got my desk in between two couches in the corner of a room, and I've got a full foot, maybe 2 feet if I'm lucky, from the edge of my desk to my bookshelf behind me that I'm sitting at right now as I'm recording, where I have to basically crawl through the side of the couch, over the couch, just to get out of my computer chair, because I'm in just a 2-bedroom house and I don't have room for anything. And that's the big thing, is if you have a goal and you really want to achieve it, you'll find a way to make it work. And this is something where, for me, the reason why I want to do these events is because I want it to be kind of like a con thing, where it's like, I would love to have it where, like, I've never met Joe in person. We've been friends online for almost 5 years. And if this world record gives me the opportunity where in 4 months I can sit there and go, hey, whatever company, I want to do this world record, but I want to do it in New Jersey. You're going to pay for all my flights and everything and pay for me to go. And they say, sure. that's going to be the greatest experience for me, being able to like kind of do that full circle of, you know, getting to the industry, doing a podcast, meeting people, all these great people in my life, and then being able to meet them in person and do this great event in person would be like, that would be to me the most like that would be the world record for me. Like whether I make the world record or not, that's what my goal is just to let this do what I've wanted to do, which is to like just be involved in the industry and just be involved with the people that I do things with in the industry. So
that's dope, dude. You can do it. I believe in you. I think you're gonna get it. So,
I hope so. That's the goal. Like I said, I am got so many plans to. That's where for me it's. I think it's going to be more the fear of not completing the goal is actually what's going to probably keep me awake. I'm actually more afraid of the idea of me going like 50 hours with no sleep because of worried about falling asleep than I am about like doing 24 and 4 hours of sleep. Like it's going to be a real issue, but no, it's I can't wait. I'm super excited. August the 15th.
Let's get it. Joe, Tanner, you guys got anything else before we get out of here?
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Awesome. Well, man, thank you guys for coming on. Kory, thank you for coming on here and sharing them with us. All your plans and what you got going on, dude. That's a lot, dude. I'm pretty stoked. And I look forward to having you back in 2 weeks.
Yep. Just before everything, and that's when I'll be sitting there and I probably will be super tired and everything, not only because I sat there and had to sit there and Metacritic a total of over 800 games for PlayStation Now.
Hey, so just a quick aside, I put you on the PlayStation Now one because I'm like, oh, he's a data guy. He loves this stuff. So I was like, hey, which one you want? PlayStation Now? Cool. I got Game Pass.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, well, what? PlayStation? Because everyone always talks about how Xbox has more games and better games. And I'm like, oh, yeah, because I've never looked, right? I've never really cared. That's what I'm saying. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, well, how big is it? So I go to PlayStation. I'm like, oh, library size. Because I've done the Xbox one where I go in and then you're like, okay, non-piece only on Xbox, not with Ultimate. And then you just like minimizes it down, right? And then for me, I'm like, okay, PlayStation Now, let's just, and then worst thing is PlayStation Now, please, PlayStation, if you're listening to this in any way, shape, or form, or if you're someone that works for Sony, please, please, on your website where you have your list of games, don't put it in alphabetical order where all you do is just put the name of the game. Give them a cover. Please just put the cover there. I know it will take you more work. It's going to make the website load a lot. But please to God, you have over 900 games and all you have is titles. And it took me almost an hour just to sit there and put them into my spreadsheet. And now they've got space. There's over 834 games that have to research on Metacritic. And like just you know what you should do? Make this real easy for us. And you guys should also put, you know what? You guys should, Sony, if you're listening, we know you guys listen. If you want to make PS Now seem like this amazing thing compared to Game Pass, I'll tell you a secret. What you should do is just like people put, you know, when you buy a movie, you get, you know, for the longest time, Rotten Tomato wasn't that thing. Nobody cared about Rotten Tomato when it first came out. Everyone's like, what's this Rotten Tomato? No one gives a shit. And then all of a sudden, when Rotten Tomato came big, there's that little Rotten Tomato stamp that goes in the corner of all these games. You need to go. And you've got Metacritic stamps that say this is a Metacritic like top whatever game. If it's above 90%, you get this little Metacritic stamp. Make a list of games that have that stamp. So you can show what you have. Go Metacritic top games list. Just do it. Instead of making me go through all these games and play Repel Fishing, which actually is pretty cool. But anyway,
that game was pretty cool.
Dude, the idea that I never thought, okay, side note here, Repel Fishing on the PS Now. I thought it was going to be like one of those old, you know, Darrell, you remember the old fishing games where it was just catch a fish, you roll your thumbsticks, and you're like, oh, and then you just
that's a legit fishing game right there.
That's okay, Repel Fishing, the new one. So for one, there is a story mode, kind of, where you have to go through all the tournaments and everything, and you
Yep,
get your and there's different fish and different lures, and then you drive your boat, and you have to throw your rod and everything.
You
But
throw
this
your rod.
game is intense. When you throw the lure, you wait for the fish hits it, you have to pull back on the stick to like get him to snap in. But once he snapped, I showed Joe a video of it. Like, it is intense. You have to like maneuver the fish left and right, and then there's points where he'll try to break the line, and you have to push X, and when you push X, then it like goes and it like he pulls it towards you quicker, and then it like goes in, zooms in on the fish, and the little like speed lines go down beside him, and it's like you just like pull left and right, and then you're pushing the button, and then you pull out this fish, and then you find out it's only like 3.5 pounds, and you feel like you fought for your life for it. But no, but there's that's the big thing. I think like there's that's just a tangent, but like really, Sony, just please, if you want to show your value, you need to organize not only your store. Please stop making it every time I click into the PS5 list of games, you automatically PS4 list, you just show me the best selling games. You don't show me the newest games that came out. I know you're trying to sell me on PS5 games, but when I click on the store list, I'm not looking for what the best seller is. I'm usually looking for something new. And just to add a point, because I know Joe's going to talk about it anyway, I'll let Joe go on a rant here. Just give me a second. Joe, PS4 and Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
One eternity later.
Not even gonna do it. Not even gonna do it. No, I'm not. No. No, just too upset still. Game's supposed to come out the 29th. What's today's date? The fucking 16th. Where's the game? Where is it, LucasArts? Where? It's out for every other system. It's complete bullshit.
Some bull crap.
Have they updated you yet, Joe?
No, and you know what? I think I spammed their Twitter for like 15 days straight. I'm surprised they get blocked.
They're just ignoring it.
That's probably what they did. They just probably silenced them.
It's so funny because the cause is growing. Like, everyone keeps retweeting it, so...
All right, guys. This is the point where we land the plane. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you guys, Joe, Tanner, Kory. I appreciate you guys, man. This was great. Look forward to doing this again. This is the Loot Bros Podcast. Zombies Ate My Neighbors sucks, and we're out.
People need to know we're living in a war zone. In the streets with the truth, tell them that it's on. Get right or get left, what will it be? Time is running out, the blood is flowing down the streets. People need to know we're living in a war zone. In the streets with the truth, tell them that